Oh, can we turn the music down a little bit?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, not that I don't love some good mountain bluegrass, some mountain jams.
Yes.
We are in Colorado after all. We're fitting the
See,
bill.
I'm into bluegrass. Timmy hates it.
You only need one bluegrass CD.
Yeah, they all sound the same.
Yeah,
Yeah.
put on the bluegrass.
All right, so
Yeah,
you guys
It's like
all,
a fish concert.
You guys all, yeah. So I'm not a fish fan. I promise you there.
Well, I am, so I mean,
Oh,
you didn't have
well.
to get so salty
Yeah.
so quick.
You're
right.
You're
We've only just met each other. It's only just begun. Welcome to the Rotating Tap Podcast.
I like emo music.
Yeah, I do too. Steve and I actually cried on the way down here.
Yeah.
We weren't actually sad about anything.
What kind
We're
of
like,
music?
I have an ex-girlfriend too.
Emo.
Emotional music.
Oh, emo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you said eagle. I like
The-
eagle.
It's
The
yeah,
Eagles.
it's
The
all Eagles and Eagle cover bands. It's exclusively what we listen to.
Yeah, the Beagles, the Seagulls.
Yeah, the Bagels. No.
Hey, look at this. I'm drinking an Avalanche. It's one of my favorite beers. So
Yeah,
Nice.
it's one of my least.
One of my favorite
it's okay. There's plenty of people that are drinking it. We're gonna be just fine.
You don't need my 2 cents.
I like to say the beer that built the Breckenridge Brewery empire right there.
Yeah, you guys got quite the facility.
Stanley Cup winning.
I know. I was gonna kind of walk you around a little bit. Well, we'll see.
So that's okay. We can trot around. We have a mobile setup. Somebody grab the tripod, and we'll
We,
take the show on the road.
We even, like in the beer garden, built a sledding hill.
Wow, nice.
Yeah.
What do you
What
mean
a
you
party
built
here.
this
This
sledding
place
hill?
is.
It's like
It's
You
either
guys
a
wanna go
hill. How
sledding
big
later?
is this hill that you built
it's
yourself?
like 2 stories high,
Yeah.
and I think every Thursday, like is today Thursday? Maybe they do it on Friday. I can't remember.
We're in a weird time.
There's
What
like
is time?
I know 3 trucks of ice show up, and then the shredder just takes all the ice and makes snow.
Wow.
So and then we have these inner tubes. It's all in the beer garden. You can slide down this hill.
Yeah, you weren't fucking around. You were
Yeah,
like,
this
hey,
place
we
is
got a bunch
such
of
a
AV
party.
money. Let's party.
It was the end of the year. What are we going to do with it all?
This is the coziest place we've ever done a podcast. There's like an actual fireplace with real life logs.
It's toasty and
Yeah.
lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
nice.
one of the things I think is so funny about when people talk about breweries that have been purchased or there's investment capital involved and stuff. They just think it's this pit of evil. And everybody that I know that works for like Breck or 10 Barrel, they're like, yeah, we just get to do really fun shit like all the time.
I will say that we did build this before the acquisition, so this was actually a. Now, could we have paid those bills? That's a whole different story.
No, we were gonna burn this thing. To the ground. We were gonna build this thing. And
It's
then-
more-
But we did build it.
We built a sledding mound, but then we got some money, so now it's a full hill.
Yeah, you can see how well Breckenridge Brewery is doing based on how big their sledding hill is.
By the way,
Next year's gonna be 3 stories high.
nice.
Whoa.
We are here at Breckenridge Brewery. We did not announce that. I'm sure people read the title of the episode.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if we started, but I kind of assumed.
No, we did. We
Oh,
start
it's-
right
What the hell
there.
is going on?
Yeah, but hey, my name's Korey David,
I'm Steve Vanderblue.
and could you guys just introduce yourselves and tell us what you do here?
Yeah, my name is Todd Tebow. I go by Tebow. This is my 25th year with Breckenridge Brewery, and I'm our culture czar.
Nice.
We'll get into that a little bit
And
later.
you're one of those guys that uses their last name as a nickname. They're like, my
Yeah.
nickname is
Exactly.
My last name.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with the. I
like Beyonce.
The Florida Gator quarterback.
I am still employed in Colorado. Where
Somebody else is not. He is going to be taking a knee for this entire podcast. So if you're not watching the video,
if I take a knee, I may not get back up. So.
yeah, it's mostly out of defeat, not necessarily out of enthusiasm. Jim, what do you do here?
My name is Jimmy Walker. I'm the head brewer at the Breckenridge Brewery Pub in Breckenridge. I've only worked for the company 24 years. But
He's the new guy.
Oh, yeah.
I get to make
Good guy.
beer for a living, so
FNG.
my job is better than Tebow's.
So they still haze you around here?
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's mostly getting
He's
hazy
the
years,
freshman
touchdown.
haze.
Yeah, clearly. If they don't hire any new employees for 24 years, you're just like, God damn it, can you just get somebody
Would
else in
someone
here?
die, please, so I can get a job?
We need some fresh blood in here so we can give them a bunch of bullshit.
It's kind of the truth. We have an amazing amount of people that work for Breckenridge Brewery, not only here at the brewery in Littleton, but the brew pub up in Breckenridge that have been around for 20 plus years. I want to say the list is easily 25, 28 people or so.
5 or 10 years
It's
and
pretty
you're a
good. Yeah.
sophomore.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. I mean, they say I know a lot of people that consider working in the beer biz kind of like the keys to the castle kind of thing, and it's really hard to leave.
Yeah.
There might be better opportunities financially for some people, or maybe benefits-wise, or whatever. but once you're in the beer industry, it is kind of difficult.
Yeah, I grew up in it. My father was in the beer industry. He worked for a local beer distributor and then owned a liquor store here in Denver. So I was kind of doomed for life. What else was I?
From the womb.
Yeah, I'm a beer guy. What can I say?
Well,
I was drinking old, expired Schlitz in the garage, when I was 12 years old. So why not?
Yeah, you might as well donate it to your children.
That's where the culture comes from, right? The Schlitz.
Thank you. You're understanding the title. Yes, already you understand what a culture's art does.
It's interesting because in comedy, it's very easy for people to get out of the industry. I wish more people would do it.
Is that a big hook?
We actually wish more people would be out.
Yeah.
But that's actually a great rule of thumb for your kids. It's like you're only allowed to drink the out of code beer. You can't drink anything that's fresh.
It's not illegal because it's expired beer, so it shouldn't exist. So it's not illegal to drink.
Anything we pick
That's
up at
really
the grocery
not a
store
law,
goes
but
right
it's
to my
mine.
child's. It's a part of his future. We're investing.
That's right.
So I was never. We were. I don't come from a drinking family. I was raised Mormon, but in my town is one of the 12 Budweiser breweries in the country. So on the way to school, you could smell the mash, smell the malted barley, and all that jazz. And then at night, it was over the crest of this hill. So you would see every Budweiser brewery, I think, has the gigantic red neon on the front of the building.
Yeah.
Oh, Gotti.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm a sucker
It's
for
how you
neon.
find them, but
I was
yeah.
like,
You don't need Google Maps to find the Budweiser.
You can see the
It's
glow.
a red glow.
Yeah, you can see the glow of the Death Star from 5 miles. Or 5
It's really
miles
true
out.
because with our association with Anheuser Busch now, there's been times that I know I've traveled into cities and I love to drive, so I'll drive into a place and I'm like, oh yeah, I got a meeting at the brewery. Where is it? And you just, when you're a couple miles away, it's like, there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can find it.
Do you remember the old Quest sign downtown?
Oh, totally, yeah.
How bright it was? Where they like you need to turn this shit down.
There was kind of an
Is there
issue
a
there.
dimmer switch on
Yeah.
something like that?
Well, I used to say after the Quest sign kind of went away, our old brew pub downtown, which is when I started with Breckenridge Brewery when we were at 22nd and Blake Street, which is now our old ownership owns that building and now it's a Cherry Cricket right there by Coors Field.
Yeah.
But there used to be a big Breckenridge sign on that when you'd come in off of Park Avenue.
Yeah.
And I used to say that was like Denver's largest neon. And then when we were acquired by Anheuser Busch, and then it turned over to a Cricket, they weren't able to put a sign that big. That sign
Was
went
it
away.
Kenny Rogers Roasters, like the Seinfeld one?
Oh my gosh! Yeah, they kept
Slash
Seinfeld up.
Driving crazy.
I don't know. I think a big sign is nice.
The Quest sign was so bright that people sued because they couldn't sleep at night. Like the lights were so bright that they
Oh, I'm
couldn't-
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, we had that actually very same issue. So across Blake Street, it used to be when we first moved into that place in 1992. It was a plumbing supply center, but then it got torn down, and then they put up some lofts or condos or whatever across the street, and it would just be. And so we actually had to put a dimmer on that sign for folks, and then at a certain time it had to go off.
Yeah.
You could put a dimmer on Tebow.
No, it
Impossible.
doesn't work.
He's like,
Yeah, it doesn't
people
work.
would try it.
The dimmer switch is the number of beers.
Somebody turn Tebow down.
Yeah, matter of fact, my microphone's unplugged. It's still coming through.
We're actually not recording it.
Okay, now we're starting.
Just tricked you guys into having some beers with us.
Right.
It's a really
Oh,
cool
shit.
spot. I feel bad. I don't really feel that bad, but I had this thought the other day when I was down by Union Station and people bought condos that were nice looking condos right
Yeah.
across the street.
Probably
they must have been
cheap, too.
they came during the day and they must have looked at it during the day and said, "Wow, what an amazing view. We're centrally located. This is great." And then one night and they're like, "Fuck these lights. Fuck, I can't sleep. I haven't slept in days, but what a view." You know?
Yeah. Shit changes, man.
Yeah, you trade stuff off. But yeah, I'm excited to be here because we're in it took a minute to find you guys because you do have
We're a little bit
It's
hidden.
a whole
here.
campus.
Yeah, so you told us a
It
little
really is.
bit
12
about
acres.
this building in particular that we're in right now. Could you just tell us a little bit more about we're in a little old house, like a
Chicken
condo
coop.
style house.
Is this the chicken coop?
No. The other building.
Just where
over
the
there is
cocks hang out.
kitchen. Exactly. Well, when you are a culture czar, you have your own building. So this is the culture. We're at the Culture Center.
Yeah.
So there's 2 buildings
Feels
here.
like the KGB.
Oh, it is.
We're armed guards on the way in.
Yes. Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see if you guys leave. There is a basement here, so we'll just see.
It's not the KGB. It's not the KGB. It's the ABI.
If I say, hey, you guys want to go see the beer cellar downstairs, you should be worried.
That's Coach.
But yeah, so this building.
This is a live stream.
Have you seen my aged barley wine?
But the building that we're in here is actually over 100 years old. This is the old farmhouse for this plot of land that we're now on, which used to be an old carnation farm.
I thought you were going to say carnival. I've had it here for years.
I'm working on a carnival. One day we'll have a carnival.
I saw some
outside.
walking around out here. You actually look like the ringmaster, if we're going to be completely honest.
Yeah, and if you outside, because we have this beautiful patio out front, there's actually some water features and all that kind of stuff, because who we bought the land from is a company called Designs by Sundown, which they're still on the property, but this used to be their office here. Is that me? Anyway,
I think that's the AOL.
that someone called like Tebow, shut up.
I think it's the AOL dial-up. It took you so long to get back to us.
So this used to be their office, and so that's why the grounds are really nice and stuff like that. So in the summertime, come on out. It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go check the phone now.
When we drove up, I hadn't actually been down here before, but I was just super impressed with how much space there is. But I mean, it makes sense because you guys have been around for a while and you're a bigger brewery.
Yeah, and what's great is all the land here allows for some pretty awesome concerts. So that's great. Musicians come through and close off the whole propery.
Yeah, you said you've pitched a
huge
tent
parties.
out up here before, right?
Oh yeah, I pitched my share of tents in the day.
Yeah, of course. You've been around for 24 years.
Who are some of the favorite acts you've had here?
Tebow, I don't get down as much. There's some signs all over.
Too folksy?
Yeah, no, like Big Head Todd, is a big hit.
Yeah.
What are some of the
Lovely
bigger
man
acts that
race.
come through Tebow?
Oh, we've had cake and leftover cake and leftover salmon. Wait, I'm not on the microphone. Hey, that phone call was our food. The farmhouse restaurant delivered us some food.
Hell yeah, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Actually move that chair back so we got a little bit of
So yeah, we've had all kinds of fun stuff here. I'll tell you one of my favorites, and these guys were kind of making fun of me a little bit. I love bluegrass music.
I have a feeling people
And,
pick on you a lot because you're so
because I'm so awesome.
enthusiastic that people are
Everybody
like,
tries
they're
to
trying
knock
bring you
off number one.
Yeah,
man.
they're always trying to take you down.
Pick honorable.
But we've had Billy Strings.
Yeah,
He
he's
played
the
us
shit.
Billy Strings. He is the shit, and he played our beer garden stage about 3 years
that
ago.
was-
and just
that was
crushed
amazing.
it.
I was
It's
there for that.
amazing how much he blew up. I mean, even 4 years ago, he was still in the bluegrass industry. People knew about him, but he hadn't really blown up yet. But now he's like the biggest name.
Yeah.
in
He's
that
magical
He
and
was
just
awesome.
a really, really cool dude.
genre. Yeah.
Just nice as all hell.
Yeah,
Did you see when he played the Gothic, whenever the last concert he played there, he was like, he took like hot chocolate out to everybody waiting in line before it came in.
He's a wholesome country boy.
There you go. Hospitality.
Well, Jimmy, so did you come all the way down here for the show? Or
Yeah.
So you live up in Breck?
Yep.
Oh, that's pretty tight. So,
Living the dream.
so when you were up there, I mean, you were saying that you have a lot of liberty to kind of just make whatever the hell you want.
Yeah, it's a dream come true for sure. We don't focus on production; we focus more on innovation. So beer costs aren't really a target. It's just about making awesome beer and
That
then
sounds like
figure
such
out
an artsy
costs
line.
later.
We don't focus on production. We focus on innovation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So innovate.
A lot of smoking weed up there. By the sounds of it.
I mean, it's yeah.
It's legal.
Yeah, of course.
When the snow is flying and you're deciding between Colorado and Utah, it's an easy decision these days.
No, I don't blame you.
How cool is that? But speaking of, everybody thinking, oh my God, Breck, you come up with, AB and drug tests and stuff like that. But AB was so into like the culture of craft breweries, they realized that wait a minute, weed probably is a little bit important in craft beer. And they owned a brewery in Colorado, they owned a brewery in Oregon, and so AB changed their rules just for the craft brewery side. Sorry, everybody that works for the AB distributors and stuff like that. But
Sucks to be
they changed it to where what they do is for their drug testing, they follow local law.
Props to Tenbro for leading that charge.
Tenbro definitely had a
Tenbro.
hand in that one. Yeah.
Because there are like a lot of places that like if you smoke weed or like now technically mushrooms are criminalized too,
Right.
which I don't know how those show up on a drug test.
I
but
don't
weed,
think they do.
Isn't that food
Yeah.
poisoning? Wasn't that always the like
I know.
old like
Oh, really?
adage? They were like, yeah, it's just food poisoning. Yeah.
Dig into these snacks, guys.
Yeah,
Yeah, whatever you want.
The thing with mushrooms, at least, is like you can't necessarily. If you show up while you're tripping, they're like, "Yeah, I didn't take anything." But you showed up naked and you're wearing a headdress and you get your face painted. It's like, yeah,
Listen to the
It's like, wait a minute,
news.
something's going on here.
yeah. You're like, I got a Fish concert I got to get to, so if we could wrap this thing up like pretty fast, that would be ideal. Yeah, I'm sure there's probably a decent amount of psychedelics that have happened on this grounds. Well, and maybe not you guys per se.
beforehand.
But if you're camping out overnight, it seems like it's kind of the thing. Well, do you have that too?
Cannot
Where
confirm nor deny these
of
allegations.
course, and that says volumes. So
We're smart. See, seasoned professional.
I know you guys have done this before. So I know with if you have camp out, like one of the cooler things in beer is if you have a festival or an event where industry people can camp out overnight, if it is a concert or a beer festival and stuff. Do you guys have a decent amount of that here when things are normal anyway, where employees are kind of encouraged to like, hey, we're gonna have like a camp out night like at the brewery?
We Jimmy, I think, officially is the only person. He and our old assistant brewer from the brew pub up in Breck, I think they're the only ones that have ever camped that we know of on this site.
I don't know. I saw a few people coming down Santa Fe.
Yeah.
It's like they were ready to camp out for a while.
I have aspirations to do so. If you're standing, for those that have been here, in our beer garden here in Littleton, and if you look directly west, which we have a beautiful view, and truthfully from our property straight across, and you see this open field, which is owned by the city of Littleton, and then you hit the what's called the Mary Carter Trail, which runs right along the South Platte River, and then beyond that is Columbine Country Club, and then basically a beautiful view to the Front Range of the Rocky Mountains. But I see this field, and I want to like turn that into a campground or put a stage out there or something like that. And the city of Littleton has been really, really cool with us. So the folks that I've talked to, now it's not gone all the way up to the top, but I've talked to a few, city staff, and they're like, we think we can make that happen. So I don't know. One day, maybe.
You just go out.
They let
to
us
the
shoot
fence
fireworks
and just, like,
out there.
Just
Yeah.
put your hand on the fence and just be like, someday.
I sit there at the split rail fence and look at it as the sun's setting. And I'm like, I can envision 80 tents.
Until then, they let us expense our cab fare if we've had too much to drink.
Yeah, you want to keep things safe.
Uber ride,
That's what
which
it
is
comes
nice.
down to. It's not about the party. It's about keeping everybody
totally.
safe.
Yeah, so I tell you what, even when we first looked at this property, because when we were first like, where do we go? We need to build a new brewery because we were at capacity at our old brewery, which we were at for 18 years over at 471 Calumet, about 5th.
I was gonna say it was not Santa Fe, but yeah, it's a block.
Yeah, exactly. And
Which
it's
you guys sold to Crazy Mountain?
Crazy Mountain is now in that spot, and so. We were there for 18 years, so we kind of grew up there, and we were like, where do we go? And the city of Denver, they tried to help. They're like, hey, we got a place, and they kept taking us out to the airport. I'm like, all right, no. That doesn't
keep
work.
trying to get out to Nebraska.
Yeah, I get it. It could be cool, plenty of land, because we wanted to build something
Because
like
you have
this.
your own commune out there.
Yeah,
When you think about it that way, you're just
we
like-
could put up a big wall and all kinds of stuff,
You
but
could
we
be-
wanted to be integrated a little bit.
You could be the hub for the Illuminati because everybody knows that that's their home base. is
Maybe
CIA.
we are.
Yeah,
we are owned by
I know.
Anheuser Busch. Just ask some
Just look
people.
at-
They
look at
probably
the artwork.
start
Yeah.
that whole
That is pretty wild.
Brewing underneath the airport? That's how it is.
No.
All lizard people here.
But anyway, this piece of property came up, and it was actually supposed to be Walmart wanted to buy it.
Oh.
And the folks of Littleton, it went to a vote, and they were like, fuck no. And
It's
so
Walmart.
it came up, and people. There were a few people like, oh my gosh, a brewery and all that. But we talked to a lot of the neighbors to move into the spot because it was perfect and right on the South Platte River, access by your bike, or you could jog to a brewery. I guess you could. No, I know people do. Light rail's not very far. The Mineral Street
Some
light
people do
rail's.
that for fun. They
Yeah,
do
I
beer
know.
runs. I'm like,
It's like
just go to
beer
the bar.
run. They have they've got like beer runs or
That's
something.
half of my life is breaking even. Like I just go for a run so that I can have a beer later.
So, it's a reward at the
That's
end of the
any of
trail.
us.
Yeah.
That's not how culture SARs work, right?
Absolutely not.
It's mostly living in
Culture
in
Czars have
excess.
big
Yeah.
gas guzzling, big trucks. You probably saw it out there that pull draft trailers and stuff like that.
Oh,
Yeah, the whole point
Is
of being
that
a
a-
czar is to live in excess, for sure.
Is that a tiny house you guys got out there? The little wood trailer?
Yeah,
It's like a mobile bar.
it
actually,
is.
right?
So it is a mobile bar, and we had a guy by the name of Mitch. He has a company up in Fort Collins called Mitch Craft.
Did he go see your barley
And-
wine collection in the basement?
No, Mitch is still building tiny houses. But he built that for us. So he does actually have a company up in Fort Collins that builds tiny houses. And so we went to him and said, hey, we need this bar. And it's great. It's like 18,000 pounds, which originally was supposed to be towed behind my Ford F-250, and no. So we have to hire somebody to haul the thing with a big old truck.
That would have been a cool ad, potentially.
Well, that was
Like,
kind
let's
of
see
that was the
Ford,
vision, but we just kept adding things onto it. I'm not blaming Mitch. I'm not saying Mitch built it too heavy, but it's heavy. And I can move it around the property here for when we have a concert and stuff like that, but it is sweet because it's got a deck out front and then it has a spiral staircase inside for a deck on top, so it's a pretty sweet
It's
thing.
the only house I
Yeah,
think you can pull with a trailer that I've seen with a basement on it. It's huge.
Yeah.
It's like a fucking tiny house, but it's a colonial.
The
Like,
tiny
it's-
house also has its own stuff that you don't want
I like that. So whenever we have a lot of people like, hey, you should. We call it the A-frame because it's meant to live. I've always wanted to live in an A-frame, and so it's kind of it's got this A-frame thing
You
going
can't
on.
hang your pictures on the wall. Eh?
I know. Yeah,
Gotta hang from the ceiling.
They
There's
fall off
On
the
the
wall.
other in Breckenridge, you
Yeah.
walk around, you're like halfway to the wall, and you have to stop because your head's
And
hitting
everybody's
the
just got framed pictures on the floor, just kind of like angled against
yeah,
it.
yeah, it's
Hilarious. But so many people are like, bring the A-frame, and it actually takes 3 of us 4 hours to set the thing up,
Yeah,
and then another 3 of us 4 hours to take it down.
You're like, just
So I
bring
like
it.
the whole idea. Like, no, we've got to build a basement first.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll, because everybody's like, they just look at me like, what's wrong with that? Well, your event is only 2 hours,
Yeah.
and I'm going to spend 8 hours putting it up and taking it down. But I'm going to maybe use the old basement thing.
You should.
Maybe it might connect a little bit.
We just need more places to crash.
Yeah,
if
you
we're gonna
could.
come out there, we're gonna have to make some bunk beds.
Yeah, so if we have too many beers, we'll just crank open the A-frame and we'll just
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I might
Tim's
just
on
need
the
a place to
rooftop
sleep.
there.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what
I'll sleep in the cold up there. Shit.
Yeah, but I know you said that this place was potentially going to be a Walmart, which would have been a travesty, although equally as entertaining. If you record videos,
Fair enough.
I feel like people get just as sloppy at a Walmart. as they might at
I've seen
a-
photos, of
Yeah.
people shopping Walmart.
Oh yeah, I've seen.
The website.
No, what's
People
the?
Walmart.
Yeah, isn't there?
That- that whole
is that what it's
website?
called?
There's a
People
whole
Walmart?
website.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say World Star, but yeah, that's more of.
Also, I mean,
it's
a
more
lot of,
those.
I'd say half of World Star, it takes place in the parking lot or inside of a Walmart.
Yeah, it's twofold.
Yeah.
Different websites for different areas of the premises, if you will.
Yeah.
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 Can we get to the elephant in the room here?
Yes!
I can't stop sweating because I'm looking at this beer I have to
I'm
drink.
here's the funny
I
thing.
thought it was the fireplace.
I've turned
and
it-
a flannel.
I've turned the heat up in the Culture Center
been
because
freezing
Jimmy
here
comes
all
down.
day.
Jimmy comes down from Breckenridge, who
Yeah.
lived sub-zero
That
temperatures.
window is open right now.
Living in a hut.
Well,
I'm
it's
sure,
not
with no
open,
heat,
it's missing
you know?
a window pane.
He's living in a shack in the mountains, like the.
You would think he'd come to Denver and go, wow, it's warm down here. No, he's freezing.
My condo was 58 the other day.
Yeah.
It can only heat so much.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, here, you like shishito peppers?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let me get you a fork.
Yeah, look at, we got wings. Yeah, this is going to be the
All
first
kinds of
podcast
wings.
with all the food. Look at this. What,
Yeah, so the farmhouse was really nice to send over some food. We've got wings. I think that's like a honey mustard one or something, and I don't know.
Cheetos. We got venison.
Yeah.
The deer have been killed
Wow.
on the property.
Yeah, they at one time were frolicking.
Yeah,
over
we have
down
our-
by the river.
We have our own
Soon
deer
to be
farm.
later stages.
Before Christmas, it's used for Santa's Playland, and then afterward, it's used for the pub. That's
Oh my God.
it's just real farm to table stuff. I love the sustainability you guys have going on at the pub.
Right here on the property.
Let's have you guys.
Hang on, I just got a call from the restaurant. They need more deer. I gotta go. I gotta get my bow and arrow. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Devils is clearing the room for the campground, too.
Yeah. I mean, with a name like Czar, I can see you in a very Putin-like state where you're horseback with the
I-
shirt off,
I-
and you just gotta go kill some
Always
deer.
have to hunt without my shirt.
It's
Yes.
clear. Yeah, it's the best way.
Also, never scored over on a game of golf.
Yeah.
always par.
Wasn't that Kim Jong Un?
What's the fucking difference, really?
The thing about hunting with your shirt off is that
history
your
major.
musk attracts the deer. I said your musk attracts the beer at first. And I'm like, it probably is both.
Did you hear that, by the way? Isn't that lovely?
Yeah, we
well,
got
nice
a...
crisp
So this is
crack,
our Nitro Irish
Nitro
Stout. We're pretty
yeah.
lucky that we have some awesome technology as far as canning some nitro beers and stuff like that.
Yeah, because between you guys
man,
and Left
that's beer
Hand,
point
like,
right
there's
there.
you guys. I think probably is the
He's
two
mesmerized.
most notable national breweries that can produce nitro beers
Right.
and distribute them.
Yeah.
Because it's not easy to do. So I do want to
No,
get
it
into
takes
that.
a lot of technology, expensive technology.
I definitely want to get into that, but let's chug a beer first. How about that? We
yeah.
gotta slow you down.
It'll do it too, because
We're gonna need the dimmer switch.
I am the lamest. Actually, truthfully, when it comes to craft beer, I think I'm not even a. I almost want to say I'm not a craft beer guy because I don't like hoppy beers.
Sure.
I'm more dark and malty, and I'm a terrible beer chugger.
I mean,
You just savor it. You know what you like. There's nothing wrong with any of that.
Well, thank you for sticking up for me because no one does that. I
I
appreciate
mean,
it. We're
everybody
gonna get
else
along.
thinks you're a loser, but
Yeah.
you're not. I mean,
Hey, I only need one friend. That's all.
Corey's just trying to get you to pay him for the basement on the tiny house idea.
Can you
That's
guys cue in the sad music here?
No, it's the emo
Emo!
music.
Yeah.
That was such a shame. Okay, anyway. I just think you're so high octane. I just need a piece of that ABI Coke that you've
There you go.
got.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, you have
we
noticed
grow
in one of these
amazing
strains,
herbs out in
Yeah,
the
these amazing cocoa plants that you've got. You've got in the back.
There you go.
So the way we do the chug is typically. Are you guys doing anything that's over 8%?
Mine's 8.2.
Fuck yes, Jimmy, get in the game.
Lame. Mine is 9.2. Thank you very much.
Get out of here. That's it.
It is. It says right here on the label.
No,
so
I'm
this
saying,
out of control.
this beer right here
Named
is
it
actually
after
it's
our
called
controller.
Out of Controller, and so Julie, who is our controller, who has like 1,000 times more energy
She
than
makes
I
you
do.
look calm.
So we called her after like 15 minutes with her. I'm like, oh my gosh,
You
our
two are like a
controller
presidential
is out of
debate on
control.
Fast forward, everybody's just like. Rah, rah, rah.
Yeah, so we call her the Out of Controller, and Jimmy made a beer just for Julie. So
Oh, yeah.
this is in honor of Julie.
Shout
right
out
here.
to Julie.
Yeah, so if I lose my job tonight because I say ridiculous things by drinking too much alcohol, it's Julie's fault.
You'll notice a turn in the conversation here in the next 5 minutes.
I'll start to rant.
Yeah,
We
that's
have had
okay.
to edit out. Some people have done like the chug 2 times in a row, and we've had to edit out anything they say.
Yeah, they go off the rails on some stuff. They start talking some shit. Apparently,
Yeah.
2 10% beers in a row is enough to
Name
just have
and
you unleash
yeah.
to start naming names,
Right.
all the grapes you have in the beer biz. Okay,
all
everything.
of the skeletons.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
okay. So with the chug, you guys are going to be qualified for the 3 seconds off your time. We'll do it one at a time just so Steve can keep track of it. But tell us what the beer is, and then as soon as the beer hits your lips, Steve will start the timer. We'll roast you for a second while it's happening, and then as soon as you're done, he'll stop it, and then you have to tell us the joke afterwards. Pretty straightforward, but it's kind of complex. Especially because you got to do the bang bang right after.
Bang bang,
I've
yeah.
been unable to sleep for about a week thinking about
Thinking about this?
Yeah,
Good.
good.
Well, let's see
Good.
you shine, baby.
Yeah.
that in my gout. Possibly.
Jimmy, do you want to go first, or do you want me
No,
to go
I'm-
first? You want me to make a fool of myself first?
He wants to see how it's
I
done.
need the bar low.
Yeah.
He needs to
Well,
see
we've
some-
already talked about it. I'm
Wow.
not much of a chugger. I savor life, but and I've already talked about the beer. So
And you're
I'm just
you're
checking the
shotgunning
boxes.
this? Are you shotgunning this?
Oh yeah, because you were going to
Yeah.
use the bottle.
snake bite.
No, no, I never said that. I just said that was an option.
You just brought out all these cool tools that you're not going to show us and you're not going to use.
Yeah.
Again, you guys are getting to know what a culture czar is. I'm smoking ears, man.
Tell us about all the Christmas presents you thought about getting us.
Where is in the fucking funhouse?
No, it would have been cool.
I know it would have been, could have been, but that's okay. But it's called the snake bite. Oh, we'll get into that in a second.
Yeah, you gonna use that, Jimmy?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. He
So-
didn't come all the way down here for nothing. He came to party.
Well, we'll talk about it after I pass out.
All right, Tebow. Let's see what you got.
Yeah, you do get a 10-minute nap after this if you want.
This is actually a really dumb idea.
Yes.
No, not you guys.
No,
not
it
the
is.
chug thing.
It's
Just,
us.
Oh, it's
just your idea, and then I decide to throw 9.2
You're
out
gonna
of
go.
controller.
You're
It's
gonna
all
go
done.
right out of the. You're gonna go right out of the can. You don't want to do it out of a glass.
Well, can I do that?
I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah,
However you want to
can't
chug
was
it.
legal.
You can use
However-
whatever vessel you
Yeah,
want.
do it however you want.
You got a beer bong here. You can use that too.
This kind of reminds me of hot ones. You guys
There
like
was
hot
a-
ones?
Yeah. There was a
Chug a
moment
beer.
there where Tebow looked me right in the eyes and thought, "Do we have a beer bong here? Like, can we actually?"
No,
do that?"
I'll be honest with you.
Or
So
did you just get scared?
No, I haven't drank off a beer bong forever, and of course, again, I can't chug beers very well. So, but in college, I went to CU up in Boulder, and we had this. There was 4 of us that lived in this place, and the second floor it was a loft, and so of course, like every couple engineers in my crew, and we had a 2-story beer bong.
Yeah, because that's what you do when
So
you're in
that's
engineering
what.
school.
Well, so when you said beer bong, all of a sudden I drifted off to the past. And
You just had a flashback.
Yeah, that was the flashback.
I just saw your PTSD face.
I'm like, oh my god, I remember that stupid 2-story beer bong,
It's kind of like,
I did a
which
double
was
beer
disgusting.
bong
I think every beer bong's disgusting.
Oh,
of course.
I did a beer.
It's like, hang on, I got it in the closet, and
That's
how
not
long's it
the
been
point,
sitting there?
man.
I know.
it's the
His
fun of
dark
it.
beers are piling up now.
We didn't.
Look at this.
I now have 2 glasses of beer.
We didn't do a lot of big beer bongs in college, but we did do. We were big fans of Wizard Sticks. Did you guys ever play that?
No.
Wizard Staff, where you duct tape every can you finish to the bottom of the one that you just cracked.
Oh yeah.
It's
I've seen.
big.
Oh, I didn't know what those were called. I've seen
Well,
that
Wizard
before
Staff,
on the
Wizard
Wonderful
Stick.
World
That's
of
also
Instagram some spells.
what I call my private parts.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, are you
We're
guys
gonna
ready?
low-
You guys
we're
are kind of
gonna
wasting
low-brow
time
here.
here. aren't
We've
you?
been ready.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm blaming you guys.
Yeah,
for
we're just
my
giving you a
stalling.
little bit more time. Yeah.
Has
All right.
anyone ever thrown up after chugging?
We've had threats of throwing up, but nobody's.
Yeah, maybe we need to cover the microphone with plastic.
I did have some day-old sushi on the way down today, so.
I'm just
Make a
watching
little
you with
I
your
know.
timer on your phone, and I
See,
keep
yeah.
putting the, I keep putting
I'm
the.
ready. I've been doing this. I've been
Throw
doing
it over
this.
your shoulder in one shot. Bam!
All right, I'm ready. All right, here we go.
And away
The
we
slow
go.
roll, but he's doing fine.
Yeah, you were really talking a lot of shit about yourself.
I know.
Yeah,
He's,
you're doing
he's
all right.
taken
This
the.
is probably 20 years.
Oh yeah, this is an historian's approach to drinking
Okay.
beer. Just fast, but savoring every moment of
Yeah,
it.
you did look like you enjoyed that chug, oddly enough.
That is actually a delicious
You
beer.
definitely are supposed to burp into the microphone.
I know.
Yeah, don't waste it.
I've heard some episodes.
My mom may listen to this once, and she'll be like,
If we can ever get a smell-o-vision to go along with the podcast.
I did
I'm
have
really
onions
happy.
on my hamburger today, so I am kind of getting a few of those.
What are you guys eating? Like, so onions. So I thought you were just gonna say a raw onion.
It's just like an apple.
He's eating day-old sushi. You just you're gnawing on an onion like an apple. As soon as we walked in, you're like, "Hey guys, don't mind me just having a snack."
So of course my eyes are watering. That happens.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the perfect time
That's
to
what
tell
happens
a
with a chug.
That's
That
a
means-
moment.
That's the perfect time to
It
tell a
is,
joke.
but yeah.
it's sad. You just got brought back to a different period of time in your life.
I know. I'm
You
still
know,
thinking
fond
about that
memories.
2-story beer bomb.
Yeah,
He has
It's enough
notes,
to tear
he has
up
notes
inside.
for his joke.
Well, because I'm a terrible joke.
but it's like a set list, man. It's like
Yeah,
a
these guys were all about it. They appreciated it. They complimented me. So
Yeah, you
why
were
are you
prepared.
picking on me?
You
We get
prepared.
it.
Yeah.
As long as you
Now,
don't
let's,
read,
now I just need to pull it off. We'll
as long
see.
as you don't read right off of it, we won't criticize.
Yeah, no, I don't even have the whole joke written. I just have like a couple lines that are key to
You're
the joke.
already doing better than most comedians.
And I haven't fallen off my chair, so I got to be better than some. I
Give
don't
it
know.
time.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, let the alcohol's like into my body right now. But anyway, have you heard about the Dalai Lama? What?
Anyway, you see this? You're
Yeah, I'm kind of tired of talking about
Chit-chat
you.
here.
I don't know if you know, but
Tell
we've
me,
changed the name of the podcast to
step back a little bit?
TiVo Fireside Chat. So
TiVo time and nobody knows how to type it into the search engine correctly.
Have you heard of airports? Okay, good.
there's the Dalai Lama and the hot dog vendor, and the hot dog. So the Dalai Lama goes up to the hot. Oh my gosh!
Beer
I gotta
chug.
take a breath. Okay,
You're
yeah.
melting like ice cream on
I
that.
know. You guys built me up so well, and now I'm like, oh, Jimmy.
We never said we
and
could
then I have
have
Jimmy just staring at me. It's like this is not
judging.
helping. I thought we were supposed to be working together here. So
He wants to beat you on all fronts.
I know. Oh, I know. Wait till he brings out the hammer. Look,
Oh,
he's
boy.
even taken the.
Listen, if we fit one more dick joke into this podcast,
So we got the Dalai Lama and the hot dog vendor, and the Dalai Lama walks up to the hot dog vendor and says, "Make me one with everything." A hot dog.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Barry said.
And
Barry
said
robbed
that,
us.
see?
You know,
I didn't get that at the first because I'm just not smart.
Do the
But
whole joke.
That's because
Yeah.
he's not a
Stop.
cultured guy.
In the
And
middle
that's
of the
because
joke.
Jimmy
You gotta do the whole
hasn't
joke.
become one with the
yeah,
universe.
but I got parts, and hey, my joke will never be as long as
It's
Dave
called
Thibodeau's.
it's called a tag.
Yeah,
Like if
that's
you're
very
gonna do
true.
more
Yeah,
on top
very
of that,
true.
it's called a tag.
All right, so make me one with everything, and then so the hot dog vendor says that'll be $3.50, and the Dalai Lama hands the hot dog vendor a $100 bill, and the Dalai Lama has to say, where's my change? And the hot dog vendor has to say, and this is where I gotta look at my notes, change must come within.
Yeah.
Yes. Full circle.
Solid.
Yeah.
Love that. No, that's
No,
great.
that's a good joke.
That's
there,
great.
there were 2 punchlines in it, which I think is more than.
That's what I
Yeah,
kind of
those comments.
appreciated about the joke.
That is actually about 3 more than Thibodeau had.
Thibodeau just rambles.
And also very
Love you,
characteristic-
Dave.
Also
So,
very characteristic of a comic is that you needed approval immediately after after you told the joke. 'Cause as soon
I know.
as
I looked
done-
at you guys. I didn't notice. I didn't look at Jimmy. I don't care.
Yeah.
You have to give credit to Jada Badges for that joke. That's Leslie's man, Jay.
Is that where it came from? Yeah. There was a whole team that actually put that joke together for me. So.
Tebow needs a joke.
That's
.com.
most comics, the good ones. Have
Give me a
lot of
joke.
people.
But I also love that you waited for the applause break even though it didn't come. It's good.
That's okay.
Post editing.
That's
You
all right.
make- and that's a comic thing too, where people like they say the punchline and then they do like the face.
Wait,
They're like,
wait.
"Did you get it? Did you get it?"
And you can literally watch their heart break like every time. You're just like, okay.
That's okay. I have another beer already poured, so that is my connection to love right there. So I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also a comic thing, whether you just bombed or whether you did great.
And you
I
just
did a
get
beer.
loaded,
I think I just
right?
did a beer. Yeah.
Did you guys
binge?
binge?
So I'm doing it
Crashing?
correctly.
Did you guys binge Crashing on HBO? Is that the name?
No,
of it?
no, and to be honest, crashing the Pete Holmes show.
That was pretty awesome.
Great.
Here's the
I couldn't
thing.
believe they tied all those characters together. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't watch a lot of shows like
Sarah
that.
Silverman's
Show was
the
too
best.
real.
About
It's
stand-up?
very, very real. Like the stand up, like sleeping on people's couches.
Yeah.
And like the cool thing is, like I know a lot of comics in New York who are like mid-level that he gave opportunity to be like on HBO, right? So it's like people who were working hard who weren't going to get a big break. He gave them that break, and now they have that credit.
Yeah.
But it is too real for me to watch something like that.
Yeah.
You like how I'm switching the interview back onto the interview?
Yeah,
like
what
you guys are
happened?
pros.
What happened to TiVo
Flip
time
it
by
around.
the fireplace?
It's like you guys are pros.
Tebow's gone.
No, we love it. I think that's awesome.
He's in
So
the
I
bathroom.
I
loved
just
Crashing.
adjusted the thermostat. It's 144 degrees.
Yeah, we're fucking hot. We're living a good life.
Compliments of the 9.2%.
Why do you think I
alcohol.
sat
Out
by
of
the
control.
open window over here?
I'm actually.
Well,
feeling-
it's not open. It's missing a window. I don't know if you've noticed that. I
Punch
know.
that
Where's
out.
the AB money to fix the window? Huh?
Yeah, did you just go full like Johnny Karate and just be like, hey, I'm
No,
just
not
practicing
at
my
all.
moves?
Actually,
again.
if you look up on the mantle there, the window cleaners came in and they pushed the window a little bit too hard.
They cleaned it so good that they got rid of the window.
Exactly. Yes.
I didn't realize the window
Crystal
cleaner
clear.
also meant culture czar.
No. It was like an official window cleaner guy.
Nice.
I could tell you a story about that.
And he's
but
fired.
Then it
So-
would just be about me, and it doesn't matter.
Now he's over at Aspen Grove.
And I was
Apples.
over at 10 Barrel where you get demoted when you've been here. So I did watch Crashing. I loved Crashing. I thought it was fun to watch, and it was very true to the kind of the stand-up experience. And a lot of it I liked because it didn't have to do with being on stage. It's all the shit that people deal with in between. But speaking about not being able to watch stuff that's about stand-up a lot of times is, have you guys seen The Joker?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Spoiler alert. Very uncomfortable movie in a lot of
Oh.
ways, right? The guy
Heath
shot
Ledger
Robert
killed
De Niro in the
Yeah.
fucking face. The most uncomfortable I felt during the whole movie was when he was doing stand-up.
Yeah.
That was literally,
Yeah.
literally the most uncomfortable.
With that silence,
Oh, I
like
kind of
silence.
forgot about that
Yeah.
part of that.
I
Yeah.
know. I'm just watching him up there bombing. I'm just like,
And it's like he's gonna kill the
Yeah.
entire crowd.
God.
Meanwhile,
It's hard to
he
watch.
kills 3 guys on a train, and I'm laughing hysterically.
Finally, a punchline.
I'm like, this is crazy. Yeah, this is great. Oh, it's fucking wild. All right, Jay, you ready?
Are you
Ready
ready?
to rock and roll?
I guess.
So anyway, Jimmy, are you going to use that?
I don't know how it
opener?
works.
So we have this opener. So
Sure.
I was on,
It's a bomb. Let me get the
yeah, when we were able to travel and go out and
Right this
about, yeah, right there. Just kind of, hook it on
Some
the.
holes?
So what it is, it's an opener
Oh yeah.
and it's called the Snake Bite. And this dude out of, I believe, St. Louis created
The old cans of juice, the Hawaiian Tropic. What was
exactly.
that?
Yeah, remember that, or the old
Yeah.
tomato
So
juice
it
where
used
you
to have that thing.
opened one side and the other, you had to do the other side, so it kind of bubble, or I don't know. So
It's like a way cooler half and half.
there you go. So we have this thing called a Snake Bite, and it's an amazing opener, which it opens a glass bottle. It has the part to where you can pull the cork out of the cork and cage bottle, and then it has this thing for a can to where it's like a snake bite. It's like a snake digging its teeth right into the other side of the can.
I have to interject. We do have a camera here, and Jimmy just held the snake bite up to the microphone.
Look at this.
Hey, I'm the guy that's already done the beer
It's got
slam.
this little.
No, hold it up to the mic so everybody can see it.
That's Jimmy and his gout medicine. It's
And then he
making
just
it
held it up to the
The Calvins.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
yeah.
what kind of gout medicine did they give you?
I didn't know we were being videotaped.
You're a one-hit wonder here.
Hey, look at that. I just said
The one beer.
hallucinogens.
Hallucinogens. Wow, edgy.
Well, no, after
All the syllables.
Yeah, it's
hard.
Deny or confirm.
after the 9.2, that's a culture of
This is the
art.
most fun segment we do on the show is when we have you do the alphabet backwards. It's
Oh,
pretty
I
exciting.
can't do that sober. Yeah, if I ever get pulled over or whatever, count backwards, do the alphabet, I'd fail that if I only
Any
had
cop-
a Snicker bar.
Any cop that ever asks you to do that that's a dick move.
He's just
Like,
being a
that's
dick. So I should just punch him
Yeah.
and say,
Yeah.
give me a different question.
Yeah.
Even if he doesn't ask you anything, just punch the
Ask
ass.
the, can I ask the
Okay,
audience?
we don't condone that, but yes.
Treat it like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Can I phone a friend?
I know someone that can do this.
And then you got a friend that's like the guy.
Stand by.
He's like the guy with the pickup truck that when everybody's moving, they just give him a call. Just like, hey, you're the reverse alphabet guy. So anytime somebody gets a DUI, hey Tom, need a little help.
Let me call a guy.
Do you have a moment?
I'm in a bind here.
I know a guy that can say the alphabet backwards. He's my lawyer. Let me give him a call real quick.
Good call.
There
All
you go.
right, Jimmy, what are you chugging about?
I have our house hazy IPA from the pub in Breck called Now You Know. It
Which
is-
I've been sipping on a little bit. It's delicious.
Yeah, it's-
Very
Why
good.
just a little bit?
Well, because I'm also drinking the. I'm still.
It's got beers piled up.
Yeah,
Look
I
at it.
also
Got
was
a real
sipping
bad
on
luck here.
the Gold King.
See, as you can
I
tell,
think you just got called out, bro.
I was going to
You
say the
just got-
beer's starting to take effect, and Jimmy knows. I get a little, I don't know, a little forceful.
This is
So
the
do you
hurdle
guys
I
ever
have
do
is
this?
You're
Slam?
turning really Hulk Hogan on us right now.
Yeah. Do you guys ever
The
slam the
alcohol
beer?
is
By the end of the
coursing.
show, we're gonna get
Or
piled
do you
right
guys
into
just
the
sit
table.
there and watch the melt?
We've done it.
You want to know my time?
We've done it. Yeah, we've
Oh,
done
okay,
it a
that's
bunch
all.
of times.
That's all I'm asking.
Yeah, we've done it a bunch of
Couch
times. We
ready.
fell off the top 10 a long time.
Yeah.
I get,
That was
well,
never my forte either. I've worked in the beer business my entire adult life, and anytime people would be like, hey, we're having a chug off, we're having a boat race, or
Okay.
whatever, I'm like, dude, you do not want me to be on
I
it.
can't
You're
tell
like,
you
no,
how-
it'll be fun. I'm like, no, you will hate me once we do this.
well, I
Once we
can't
start
tell you how
doing
many breweries I've visited. It's like, oh, let's shotgun a beer, and I'm not against it or anything like that. I'm just not good at it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and I'm not a beer purist by any means. I like all beer, and but
it. Loves the end.
I've just, you know what? I do so much more today.
Multi-crew.
But there you go.
You guys like
But
Ricky
yeah,
and
I've just
everything?
never been very good at it. So I don't know.
That's a
Oh, yeah.
split. We gotta split that guy.
That's another
You wanna open this lager?
sexy.
We have a little,
hazy
we're gonna-
porter.
Some
Oh,
little
yeah.
taster glasses too, if you guys.
Yeah,
are
we'll
interested.
when we do.
Oh,
one,
and we have
just-
to. We need to try this one too. I think
Oh,
you
yes.
guys will like
Hop
this.
IPA.
We'll do that.
Let-
as a
we'll let
feature
Jimmy
beer
do his
after the
thing.
chug, and then
We
we'll
got
rock
so
and roll.
much work to
And went with the
do. We're
hazy
gonna be here
IPA.
5.5
Yeah, you told
hours.
us we can sleep here, right? Like,
Yeah. The tent is the yard's right out there.
The tent.
Yeah, the grass is comfy as
Better in the
hell.
summer, but
Yeah. There's a little bit of goose shit out there, and there's rabbits that run around. But
Yeah,
other than that,
Sounds like every park in
I
Denver.
mean, I might be hunting for a deer
Yeah.
with my bow and arrow, and hopefully I don't miss. But other than that,
A
everything.
few lost souls looking for a Walmart.
Yeah, you had someone looking for. Isn't there a Walmart here?
All right, Albie. So what do we got again?
so this is the Now You Know hazy IPA. I figured if you're gonna have to burp, hoppy burp would be best. So
Ah, aroma for the room.
Yeah, very-
Who needs incense?
Very thoughtful. That's whenever I think of aroma, I'm just like, but how does it smell on the way back up?
this was not as this hazy's not as sweet as a lot of other hazies. We like it a little more hoppy, a little more not hoppy, but like a little more bitterness for balance. So it's pretty drinkable.
A whisper.
I'm hoping it's drinkable enough to chug 16 ounces, and the snake bite will give me a slight advantage out of the can.
Just a breeze.
You may have said it, but of course I'm a terrible listener. Sorry, Jimmy. I don't mean to step on.
We couldn't tell.
What was? Yeah. But by the way, here's an elbow. I'm coming through. What was my point?
We'll
get to it. We'll get to
Oh,
Yeah.
Look at me trying to rewrite the
Jumping
show.
in.
My apologies.
So notice I'm like twiddling my fingers.
I know you're all nervous.
Timo gets a 10
This is
second
like the
TV
hurdle I
timeout.
need to get over to coast through
Cut off his mic.
podcast.
Go to the penalty box.
We ready?
Oh,
I think we're ready to.
I've been ready for the last week.
Hang on. Give me a moment.
Karate Kid stuff here.
Yeah, I'm ready now.
Can I stand up?
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Whatever technique
Gotta
you
make
feel is best.
room for it to.
If you gotta limber up, you gotta stretch.
It goes into his leg, the one with his toe.
Even
with
with
the
that
gout.
gout foot of yours.
Yeah, we'll take. Can we post a picture of your feet?
Yeah. I wanted to thank you
That picture's
because
a hefty price on OnlyFans.
I've been meaning to do the differential analysis on whether or not I have gout. So I've been laying off beer for a while, but I figured this is a good time to drink like 5 or 6 beers and find out once and for all if I do have gout.
Yeah.
See, he's a typical brewer. Like a science, everything is a
Test.
science
So we
experience.
gotta rule out gout.
Rule out
That's
gout.
the goal
Yeah.
tonight.
Whenever
Motto
I hang
for
out with Jimmy,
2021 is rule out the gout.
yeah,
Rule
whenever
out
I
the gout.
hang out with Jimmy, I feel like I have to
Snake
be
bite
wearing
action.
a
Hold it
lab.
up to the microphone
lab
so people
coat.
can see.
Yeah. The microphone nodded and said, "Yeah, I see."
All right, Jimmy. Here we go. Ready. And
He's off and
we're
running.
through a
A classic,
can.
man.
Snake bite can.
Just how you would on the trailhead after a long day
the
of hiking.
competition here is real.
Oh, he has a
Is that
little
it?
pit stop. Like he just had some chicken wings. He's fanning his mouth. He looks upset.
A lot of air.
Might actually choke. You can burp if you
Did
got
you
to
finish it?
space.
Oh, is
No,
it
he-
still in there? Oh,
Oh,
it's gone. Cool. Good. Because that's when I stopped the timer.
Oh, the pain.
Yeah, tell us about it. Walk us through
Oh.
it. Tell where they touched you on the dog.
The carbon dioxide is expanding in my chest.
But how's your foot? How's your foot?
His foot actually just
Yeah, I was gonna say, is your chest pain taking away from your
Oh.
foot pain?
He actually has it in his chest now too. He's got the gout all over his body. And
yeah.
for anybody that can't see the video, his
heart
foot,
gout.
his
Yeah.
foot fell off. It's it's actually no longer attached to his body. It'll become a relic.
That's how you know he's living well.
Kind of like Napoleon's penis. It'll just be a relic at this place for
Wow.
centuries.
It's really struggling.
He's not.
Ah.
Do you need a bucket?
Do you need to take a lap?
Do you need us
Trying
to
to
shut up?
Press.
Yeah. It's like when you get the wind knocked out of you and everybody's
Yeah.
like, "Are you okay?
You
What
okay?
happened?" Like,
Lift your hands above your head.
Get the hell
and
away
you just
from
want to
me.
say, shut up.
Just get the hell away from me.
Because I can't burp all at once. It's just like little bitty. burps.
Yeah, just.
Well, I
tiny
think you're
guys.
supposed to, if you're going to burp, you have to burp into the microphone.
Yeah. See, we're checking each other. That's good. Holding each other accountable.
This is a team here.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a happy burp.
Yeah.
Wow.
But you said that was good.
I thought I was a bad chugger.
No, he's doing. I
It's
mean,
a lot of
for
carbonation.
right now, he's doing okay. Yeah, that's the thing with the chug is that a lot of times people think that doing a lower ABV but higher carb beer is better.
Right.
And that's where you get fucked up. It's
Oh,
the ones
they're fizzy.
It's the higher ABV things like
Oh,
stouts
yeah.
and porter. Well, not even a porter, but like it's higher ABV stuff or less carbonated shit like porters and stouts
Well,
and browns that
I'll-
are easier to chug.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I almost chugged one of our Nitro Irish stouts.
Well, I wonder if that would have been. That would have been easy.
It does because what
Yeah.
so what nitrogen does, you force it
Oh, that's
into
better.
the beer, which pushes the CO2 out. So with a nitro beer, you can actually drink more beer. It doesn't fill your gut
Yeah.
with CO2. So I was gonna chug that.
But you wanted that 3 seconds.
Well, I know I needed the extra time, and I was gonna just not bring this up, but. Here's like maybe the first time in my entire life that I was honest.
Well, we're glad that we could break the
Yeah.
news on this show.
But I'm going to show
By
the
the way-
can to the camera.
Yeah, it's- 'cause he's a
so
pro.
it looks like a 16-ounce can, but it actually is only 14,
13
or
cents.
yeah. So it's less beer because to actually produce this, there has to be some nitrogen put into it. So
Okay.
it's actually less beer. So
It's like when
I would
everybody's
be-
just like, I know what 8 inches
it
looks
would
like. I know.
it wouldn't be as much liquid, and I felt that'd be cheating.
Yeah, that's fair. You're an honest man. We appreciate that. Jimmy
I
looks
should
like he just got into a.
have decanted mine
He just looks like he got into a bar
to
fight.
knock a little CO2 out before it went in. Oh,
To be fair, Denver Beer Co. gave us, they put like water in there.
It wasn't even seltzer.
They chugged
Charlie
water.
and Patrick, love those guys.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, they put water in it.
Sneaky
Busted.
motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I'm
good
glad
for-
you're still
oh,
calling
good for
them out
them.
for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for them.
To this day, every show.
I like their style.
Oh yeah, hold on.
It's called craft. We are in the
yeah.
craft beer
You
business.
just did like an inward burp. Like you sucked more air in. I felt
I
it over
feel
here.
so
Jimmy,
good right
am I going to have to carry the rest of the show, or are you going to be part of this?
Yeah, Jimmy,
My
tell us a joke.
My toe doesn't hurt at all anymore.
Hey,
Yeah, because his heart is like palpitating.
the pain is moved.
Yeah, that's the trick.
I know.
What's
See,
it, misdirection?
I-
It's all about misdirection.
honestly, I'm making fun of you, but yeah, I
Yeah,
got
we
that.
know you-
I get that
You didn't
before,
need to announce
and
it.
it's usually where I am when I try to beat somebody in chugging contests. It's like this pressure in your chest, and you feel like you're gonna blow up. So
Well,
I
we
get
can
it.
get to the results, but I haven't heard Jimmy tell a joke.
Jimmy's gonna tell a joke in order to
All right, I have a
qualify.
joke.
God, I hope I beat Jimmy.
As you may or may not know, we have some Brazilian executives in our company, and I was very
I thought you were gonna say that's
worried.
Have you seen Have you seen the Brazilian executives? Have you heard about the Brazilian
Let's
executives?
go.
I'm used to.
See, I was thinking more of a bikini wax. Brazil, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm used to
Sorry.
living on an island up in Breckenridge where we have a lot of autonomy, but when I heard that there might be some Brazilians coming up to check out the place, I got nervous right away. And one of our servers
all
turned to me and says, "Oh, don't worry, I got a great Brazilian joke you can use as an icebreaker." So that's the joke I have.
Did you say it in Portuguese though?
Jeez.
It's a tough room.
So anyway, a couple ladies are hanging out at
I
the
mean,
bar.
you're not as smooth as me. See, I'm just being a dick. Go ahead.
Someone get the dimmer switch out.
Encouraged. I'll allow it.
So a couple of ladies are hanging out at the bar, and one says to the other, "Oh man, I just had the best sex ever last night with a Brazilian." And the other guy goes, "Really? I only had sex with one guy. How many is a Brazilian?"
That's pretty good. I like that. Yeah.
dude. That's great.
I was
Somebody
all,
above
I was
a
all
trillion.
excited to bust that out, but
That's
then
good.
it turned out the Brazilians didn't show up to be able to get the joke too. So,
So then you just told it to
Yeah,
everybody
you-
else in the tap room
Yeah.
that night?
it's like I got a good Brazilian joke.
Hey.
It's like, hey, you want to hear something funny? That's like an open micer, and that they like first start coming around. They are so nervous about how their jokes are going to do that they'll run the jokes by people in the room ahead of time, and you can tell when they're starting to like
Oh, so
bring up a
everybody's
bit.
all heard it? Is that what you,
No, but I'm just kind of getting at it.
I guess I'll
The
let
funny
you tell your
people,
story.
the
It's
people that
obnoxious.
would actually maybe laugh at it have already heard it, I'd say.
Maybe, but it's also just kind of like, hey, dude, I can tell you're trying to run a bit by me right now, and I'm not here for it.
Yeah.
I'm just not. Do you guys get that sometimes where you're at a beer festival?
Every day with Tebow.
Of course, you're just like, hey, you want to know what you could be doing better at the pub?
I mean,
Hey,
I
I
would
don't
say,
drink
like,
beer, but you want to know what I think you could be doing better?
You guys should make a CBD beer.
Yeah.
Oh
Hey, if
you
it's
know what?
You
have you
guys
guys
should
heard
make
of
weed in it.
Hey, you guys heard
I'm
of
just going to be quiet on that because I could go on a rant on this one. So.
Well, you probably
No, please go on.
No,
No,
I'm
we wanna
not.
rant.
Oh, you guys are so
Now that
dangly.
weed's
We love
legalized,
it.
why don't you guys make a beer with weed in it? We never thought of that.
Wow, thanks,
Holy
man.
cow.
Yeah.
We're so happy you're here.
Stop it.
I would say,
You
like,
probably get this a lot at the pub or or a beer festival or something when you get the home brewer that like comes up to you.
I make beer.
Yeah, and they're like, hey, I made this cool stout the other day. Put some bullshit in it, and you're like, wow, thanks. Like, I'm sure you have that
Yeah.
from time to time.
Yeah.
what about like a beer you're super excited with somebody to try and maybe they don't really enjoy beer or whatever, and you give it to them, and you can see like the disappointment in their face.
Oh, you mean
when
this
they-
whole podcast?
It's been, I mean, like, yeah, no, the beer's awful.
If you want to impress
These
somebody at
wings
a beer
are
fest,
gross.
you go up there to them, the first thing you say is, "What's good?"
Right.
You say, "What's good? What's the strongest?" And what's your
Yeah,
lightest?
that's usually the
That's
first
my
question.
icebreaker.
What's your opener? What's your closer?
Yeah.
If I want to introduce myself at a beer fest to another brewer, I'll walk up and say, "What's good? What's the strongest? And what's your lightest beer?" And they look at me like they want to kill me. And then,
We do it
Then
as
we
a
laugh
joke.
about
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Of
Because
course.
that's what most people ask.
What do you have that's like Bud Light? And then what's the
Oh.
highest ABV?
yeah.
In Colorado, we usually get what's
Coors.
what's like Coors, what's Coors Light, but
Our
yeah.
one server would point at the Water on the table.
Yeah,
That's a great
the
joke.
closest thing
That's
we
good.
got.
That's a good joke. We're loud. That's good. That counts for both.
And you know, and that's the thing. I mean, a lot of times people like, oh yeah, what's your lightest? Because that truly, there was a time I remember at our pubs, and at one time we opened up with our really light beer was Mountain Wheat, which was an unfiltered wheat with a little bit of hops. It was kind of the beer before its time, and then it didn't sell. Matter of fact, it was one of our most decorated beers, a Great American Beer. We've got a whole list of beers to where we've won so many medals for it, and yet we've discontinued them because they didn't sell.
It happens all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Medals don't sell beer. They do create some interest. But
when I worked at Sierra, Otra Base was their Gosa that they had a little while ago. Yeah. So the beer won a medal at like World Beer Cup, won a gold medal in the session category, and then they immediately changed the recipe.
Yeah.
To be like lime. So it was like prickly pear and grapefruit. And you're like, wow, this is crazy, this is amazing. And then it didn't sell that well, so then they changed it to lime and something else just because it was like, well, this will appeal to the margarita
I like
crowd.
the OG.
After it just won a goddamn medal.
Right. No, I totally get that. But yeah, so kind of back to the story a little bit.
Shut up, Korey. I got
can we
you.
unplug his microphone?
I'm gonna go lay down.
No, just kidding. But yeah, there were a time where, truthfully, I think as far as sorry about that.
If you're gonna cut me off,
If you're gonna be able to speak, damn it. I think at one time our lightest beer was Avalanche, and it's not a crazy dark beer by any means, but that was our lightest beer that we produced, and it was amazing at our pubs how Avalanche has always been pretty solid as far as sales out of our pubs, but Mountain Wheat was like I said, was one of our biggest sellers, and then we got rid of it, and then all of a sudden the number shot up in Avalanche just because people come in and not trying to find a beer that they like or being able to discover, which I think is the greatest thing about craft beer.
Yeah.
They would just be, what's your lightest beer?
Right.
What's your lowest common denominator? And it happened to be Avalanche, and like I said, the numbers went up, but it probably wasn't the beer that they were necessarily looking for.
No, but it was literally the lightest thing on the menu, and that's what I was getting at.
And it's not light. I mean, it's kind of a caramel color if you don't know it. So light means what?
Yeah, that means a shitload of things. Sometimes it means like not bitter, it means low ABV, means light in color. Dark's the other one where sometimes people, when they say dark beers, they actually mean bitter beers or high ABV or something. It doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Well, I think over all the years that I've been like sampling people on beers, when they said, "Hey, I don't like beer. What's your lightest?" And I can't tell you how many times I get it, because usually it's a person that if they say I don't like beer, they don't like that light beery classic American style beer.
Yeah.
And not to call out Bud or Bud Light or Coors Light.
I think you just did.
Well, no, I'm just saying
That's all they
that's
know.
the style.
That's the thing, is that
and they don't like that.
That's all they know sometimes.
So yeah, exactly, and I get it. They're those two companies and include Miller sell a crap ton of that style.
Right.
But people don't like it, and that's what they don't like. So the when they come into the pubs and they say, "Oh, I don't like beer," what do you have? And that move to give them a beer just like that is like the worst move in the other. You got to go completely the opposite.
Well, especially because if you have somebody that's like maybe a wine drinker or something, they might like a fruited beer, they might like a kettle sour.
Totally.
Like, I can't even count.
Yeah, they may love fruit or we used to make a double IPA called 471 IPA, and when someone said I don't like beer, I would put that in front of them. Where a lot of people are like, ooh, this is overly hoppy, but it did have a nice malt bone to it, so a little bit of sweetness. They would try that, and all of a sudden they would light up and go, this is great. Yeah. Because what they didn't like about beer was it was boring and flavorless. So sometimes when people say I don't like beer, you need to give them something that has, that's going to blow their mind and give them flavor.
The only frame of reference they have is whatever in the cooler when their husband has their friends over to watch NASCAR. That's literally their only frame of reference. So like, do you have anything that's not Busch?
Yeah.
Can you please?
Yeah, it doesn't need to be the lightest thing you make. It doesn't need to be the fruitiest thing you make.
Yeah.
They may not like beer because it doesn't have the right flavor.
Yeah, sure. And that's the thing with craft is that it was just basically one style that dominated the industry for a really long time, right? The beer industry in America, anyway. But then
That was one of my little rants, by the way. I'm just
Good.
wondering
No,
if the
actually-
9.2 is. Am I still enunciating?
You're
Am I
great,
still
yeah,
okay?
you're doing great.
I mean,
Speaking of
the
471,
rants are coming in.
I loved that beer.
Yeah.
And not only did I like the beer, but when I realized that it was the address of Calumet, I felt like a fucking genius. I was the smartest person.
So
And it doesn't take much for Steve.
It's low bar.
Every time he puts his pants on, I'm proud of him. You know?
So a little bit of my background. I was our marketing director for 16 years, and so way back when we were a lot smaller, I was the guy that answered all the emails, the phone calls, and all that kind of stuff. And I can't tell you how many people would come. Will you share the shishito peppers?
No.
You didn't see the look on his face.
It's like I needed to bum a cigarette.
Yeah, he needs a
Tearing
heater,
that
man.
Wallflower is pretty good, too. I would hit the wallflower.
But anyway, so people would come in and they're like, I think I figured out, the what 471 means. And I'm like, really?
Yeah.
What is it?
You think he figured it
Oh,
out?
and actually one dude sent in an email and said, I figured it out. He said 471 means 4 malts, 4 hops, 7 malts, and 1 good beer. And I got to thinking about the recipe. I'm like, holy shit, I got to go talk to the brewers real
You're
quick.
like, wow.
And yes, indeed, there were 4 hops. There were 6 malts and 1 good
so
beer.
close.
And so I went to the brewers. I'm like, can you throw one more
put
malt?
something else in
Yeah,
there.
just like sprinkle a little. I
Even if
don't
it's just
care
like
what
a
it
flick.
is.
Ceremonial malt.
Yeah, ceremonial malt. Just throw it over your shoulder. And they're like, no. But
That's some like 2 layers.
I had to
You know?
respond to the guy. I'm like, dude, you almost figured it out. And this guy must have lost sleep at night. And then I had to break it to him. The 471 is not the kind of recipe. It's the address to our brewery.
It's actually much more simple than
And
that.
so many people that I told it's the address to the brewery, just they loved us. And the moment when I told them what the answer of 471 really was, they wanted to kill me.
Yeah, man, I've never felt smarter.
It's like
in my
telling
entire
somebody's
life.
name is real.
You may be the only one, but yeah.
Well, that makes me feel smart again.
Easy,
But
please.
yeah,
You're the only
471, which I don't know. I think we need to circle back and maybe make that beer again because it had an amazing cult following.
You could change the name of it to like what Brewery Boulevard 885-8801.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's got 8 different kinds of yeast. 4 different kinds of hops.
There were 7 brewers that hung out and made this beer. I don't know. I'm always the nostalgic guy, so I don't know what's wrong with still calling it.
It's a
471.
single episode.
Speaking of a
Beer one.
specific
Isn't
beer,
that
yeah,
good?
let's talk
That's-
about what we're sipping on right now, which is Jimmy. You want to take it away? What
This
we got?
is the single hop IPA with Strata hops.
That's the darling this year. Strata
Yeah,
seems to
we
be
use it
the
a
one
lot
that
at the
everybody's
pub.
using. It was Mosaic for a few years, but everybody's using Strata.
I loved the
Yeah.
Mosaic when it first came out, but then it was like, oh, okay.
We
Right.
stockpiled
It's
All
my
the beers
cup.
have to have Mosaic.
It's my least favorite hop.
Overused.
Mosaic.
Oh, Mosaic.
Yeah, it's
Citrus is also pretty popular right now too.
Well, Citrus, I mean, that's the darling. That's one of the originals. It was Cascade, then Citra, and then Mosaic. Kind of. I mean, it was. Then after that, it wasn't. There really wasn't one in particular. I think. I mean, I know Simcoe kind of went through a little bit of a heyday, but then, Mosaic's kind of been the darling for a few years now. And for me, my palate just doesn't enjoy it. Like I don't pick up all the flavors that everybody else does that really like it. When some people say blueberries, like all I get is garlic. And it's not. I'm not saying that that's how it always is. It's just unfortunately the way my palate kind of perceives it. But Strata seems to be the one this year that everybody's using.
I think the garlic often can be either how you use the hop or often how the hop is processed.
Sure. Yeah.
So I don't know.
Which is bound to happen if it's one of the most popular hops and everybody's ordering it. You're not always guaranteed to get the highest quality hop either.
Yeah.
And a lot of times if I get like a cheese or a garlic kind of aroma off of it, it's the hop's old by the time the brewery even used it.
Or it's fresh and it was older
Not
when
great
they
to
got
begin
it.
with, yeah.
And that's the thing.
Are you guys
at the
geeking
pub.
out yet?
Just touch.
Yeah, I mean, you can have all these
I'm over here
hops that
feeling
have
like-
never seen the
Yeah,
light
it
of
sounds
day
like a
and
market.
crack 'em.
Yeah,
Like,
this sounds like a brewer and a marketer. Like,
I know. I'm like,
James and T-Bone.
Well,
T-Bone's like,
I wouldn't say I'm a marketing guy. I mean, yes, okay, that's a big part of my
His
background.
job title is czar.
I know. I'm more of I'm a guy hanging out on a virtual bar stool drinking beer, and I'm just like, do I need to go get another beer while you?
By the way, he's like, hey, we should really talk about this beer. And then we start talking about the beer, and he's like, this just sucks.
But I will say,
Oh yeah. So
check out the aroma on this beer. Actually, over the years, and I will say, probably the big. It's back to TiVo.
we're getting the spin right. We're getting the spin right. Now.
Yeah,
That's the way he's like,
no.
we don't want the technical.
No, I
aspect.
was about ready to bash Breckenridge Brewery. Quite frankly, over the years,
Do it.
I know. This is where half of the world's geeking out. We haven't mastered aroma for a long, long time. Up until recently, and we now have a hop back as part of our brewery.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think
We've
that
always
was
had an
known
aroma
for
problem.
really good malty drinkable beers, and breaking into that IPA game is something we've been working on for a while. And this is a great example of us breaking out, which is pretty awesome. This hasn't hit the market yet. This hasn't shipped from
Yeah,
the
right.
warehouse.
Smell that beer. I mean,
So good.
You smell the beer, and it's like, I want to drink this beer. There's the marketing part. But
We tried it before you guys got here to make sure it was
we
good.
did.
We're like, this can't be
Well,
trash.
it truly is. It
I'm
was
not gonna lie.
delivered. It was
If it's not
delivered
good,
to
we're not
us.
going to talk about it. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh.
It was
good.
It was delivered to us about an hour before you guys got here. And I'm like, Jimmy, I'm like, we got to try this beer with these guys. And Jimmy's like,
I
Could
don't
go
know.
one of two ways. Yeah.
And I'm like, all right. And so we have 4 bottles, which I've got to present this to our sales team tomorrow. And so.
Yeah, good luck just conceptually just
Don't
talking
worry,
about the beer.
I
You know we liked it.
I faked it before. But
If you
yeah,
need tasting
I
notes,
like
just,
your guys' girlfriends. I faked it.
just listen to the podcast, like, review, subscribe. If
Yeah,
your sales team needs to hear it.
But anyway, we tried it, and both of us just lit up, and went,
Yeah.
"Oh, okay,
There's hope.
yeah."
I
Anyway.
really enjoy it. It's
Yeah, I was gonna say now you guys can't see it.
A little more clear. I mean,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We typically are a little bit more malt background,
Malt
that,
forward.
malt
a
forward.
multi background. Shady past.
Very blurry.
I used to do marketing.
Now, now I'm just full of
Malty,
shit.
A sticky situation, if you will. But that's actually pretty characteristic of, I think, most breweries of your guys' time when you started was. When I worked for Harpoon, most of their stuff was a little bit more malt forward. That was kind of the trend.
Oh, that was the gig. I mean, yeah, I know. When I started work for Breck, when we had, there were 3 beers that we brewed. Well, actually 4, I would say. And we had Avalanche, which is our amber ale, which was right at the beginning. We had that Mountain Wheat, which I talked about before, kind of a hoppy wheat beer, kind of before its time. And then we had Oatmeal Stout was actually the first beer we ever brewed, which I
Do
don't
we
know.
have any
I'm very
stout
much-
drinkers in the house? What's up?
Of course.
And then
the stouts that you've got in front of us are 10%.
and then another beer which we called, we labeled other than Avalanche, everything was Breckenridge, whatever the style was, in a sense, and we had Breckenridge IPA.
Yeah.
Over the years, we've done a few different variations of what we call Breckenridge IPA, but way back then, Breckenridge IPA, and we're talking back in 1990, February of 1990, when we opened up the brewery, and an IPA back then is not an IPA now. And matter of fact, it morphed into a pale ale,
Right.
Because it just didn't have the category.
Did anybody
changed.
even order them back then? I feel like it wasn't like a popular style until like.
It wasn't, because a lot of people were like, "Oh my god, it tastes like soap." I can't
You
tell you how
remember
many times.
those?
there's
You
like-
remember? I think Keystone had those like bitter beer commercials.
Yeah, oh,
They were
yeah.
doing, like,
Yeah,
an
bitter beer was a bad
Yeah, they were doing
thing.
an anti-craft beer commercial, and it was just like, "Don't make bitter beer face." And it was some
I mean,
guys
I-
got
Some guy that could like suck his cheeks in. That was.
Yeah.
they're like, hey, you can
He-
suck your cheeks in. I
Remember
got
that
an idea."
Keystone dude? He was an ugly, ugly man. I don't know.
That's what happens when you drink.
You mean Keystone?
That was my dad.
Well, he's ugly. I'm glad it didn't. I'm glad it didn't happen to you.
We're getting into. Oh, Daddy's so hungry.
But anyway, so yeah, we had this beer, and it was like we at the time originally it was overly hoppy, and now it's like it became kind of our it was even like less hoppy than Sierra Nevada Pale Ale.
Right, when your amber came out at the time, I don't know the IBUs on it, but you have to figure there's probably close to, what was it, 30 to 40? Or was it lower than that, you think?
It was lower than that.
Lower than that.
Yeah, it was lower than that.
Because the most bitter shit on the market back then was 40 IBUs. You know, that was...
Oh, yeah, it was like, oh my God,
yeah. No, so hoppy, because, I mean, when IPAs first kind of started coming around, it was basically just an English version of an IPA with American hops, right?
Right.
So malt forward,
kind of
more
Americanized.
citrus, more citrus hops as opposed to earthy and herbal and all that shit. So,
well, and look at craft beer in Colorado. I mean, you know, so yeah, kind of to get back originally where you're going, you know, think of the beers, you know, kind of the pioneer legacy craft beers in Colorado. Of course, I'm going to throw in Avalanche. It's how a lot of people know.
Well, Ambers were like the characters of Colorado
Ambers were the shit.
You know?
Fat Tire. Anybody heard of that beer? Odell 90 shilling.
Yeah.
Not technically an amber, but yeah, Scottish amber.
Extra gold.
Even you know, Wynkoop, Rail Yard, and
the Ambers of our time.
We got a lot of orders for Flat Tire back in the day, back at the pub in Breckenridge.
Oh, if I were the New Belgium marketing guy, and
you'd make a beer called Flat Tire.
There were brewers that
it would be a
did
session
versions,
amber.
but I would have been so frustrated. I would just
Yeah.
That beer got but as a Breckenridge Brewery guy, I'll be totally honest. Where I'm trying to get everybody to drink Avalanche Ale over Fat Tire, and Fat Tire was the humongous
Kicking
king.
your ass.
That stupid bike pissed me off so much because of their success.
You just started walking on the sidewalk, and when you saw a bike, you just kicked it over.
Exactly. Well, it was one of those things. I'm like, wow, it's such a great beer, and no one even knows the damn name.
Some drunk homeless guy kicked my bike over.
Next beer is going to be a lift scooter.
I was good for them, man, but yeah, no one knows the name of your beer, yet it's the #1 selling beer in the fucking country.
Nobody knows the name of
See,
your brewery.
now I'm starting to rant. Apparently 9.2's coming in.
Their thing was nobody knew the name of their brewery. They just knew the name of the beer.
Well,
even when they launched in New York, because I'm from New York originally, even when they launched there maybe 5 years ago, people would say, I love the Fat Tire Brewery.
Yeah.
And they've been around.
Well,
they
even thought, and we even had, I remember years ago we had...
That's when you know you made it.
Yeah.
Well, totally. Well, we even had, Avalanche was
I love that band, Pour Some Sugar on Me.
God, I wish I would have known that analogy back then. When we were growing up, trying to figure out what to do and are we doing this thing right? Because quite frankly, back then, when we first started Breckenridge Brewery, we were a bunch of burnt-out old hippies that really were unemployable in any other industry. So
you could try comedy.
Well, instead of going comedy route, we decided let's brew beer. We all had the same thoughts, and somehow we stumbled in, and we fell in a pile of shit, and it worked out. Luckily. But we would bring in, fancy marketing people. Timmy's just shaking his head.
What did he say?
I don't know.
Pile of shit?
If you stick your head up a bull's ass, then you get a good steak. It's like that scene in Tommy Boy where he's like trying to say the thing that his dad always said.
Well, I'm thinking back in the 90s where we were just throwing shit at the wall and we were just brewing things.
That doesn't mean it's any good.
Yeah. Well, and then it was like, okay, we got to button up this whole marketing thing. So we bring people in, and there was a time where one person or a company or whomever they were, I don't remember. They decided, Breckenridge Brewery, that's a great name and all, but Avalanche is your horse, and so we need to change the name to the brewery to Avalanche Brewing Company.
Oh
and
shit!
Think about it at this time, as things morphed into what it was. It was terrible.
Chevy's putting out a truck called Avalanche.
Well, it wouldn't have been terrible at the time, but think about how we would have gone, because I basically said over my dead body because I loved the name of Breckenridge and what it was, and this was before Colorado became kind of this really cool thing.
And also,
where we started.
When you become known as the town is the brewery. Those things are interchangeable. That's a powerful name.
You roll into Breck, and kudos to our good friends, the other brewery in the town of Breckenridge. Broken Compass, Ford's an amazing, beautiful man.
Broken Compass has some fantastic fucking
totally agree.
beers.
Totally
so
good.
Yeah.
We're huge fans, and he's fans of us. But we're known as the brewery. You roll into Brecken, where's the brewery? And
Very
and to
Google
just
searchable.
kind of scrub that away and say, yeah, that doesn't matter anymore. Even though, yes, our big house is here in Littleton because we needed more territory and all that kind of stuff. It makes a lot of sense. Jimmy is. Let me broadcast this. The play-by-play. Jimmy is putting his gout foot up on a chair.
Like a medieval king. Check out my fucking cast.
We put him on the sidelines over here, commentary. So he's just gonna kick his feet
I'm
up.
trying to reduce the variables, so I got the foot up, so we don't have.
It's all very
Your
scientific.
single hop cast.
Yeah, like if I walk around on it all day, it's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
Might not be the beer, so we have to make sure
We gotta
it's
make
the
sure,
beer
yeah.
I'm drinking and it's making my
See,
foot
back
hurt,
to
not me
science.
standing.
What kind of gout boot is that? Marmot? Is that
that's
is that mammoth you got?
that's the wife's boot.
I was
She's
gonna
got
say,
a lot
Jimmy
of
borrowed that
surgeries
from
over
his
the
wife.
years. She's got an arsenal of health tools. That
It looks like a senior citizen's home shoe. Like
Yeah,
it's all Velcro, everything. Just
I know it's fast.
I feel like I'm shopping at the Walmart
Velcro's
that
back
should
in
be in
style.
this place.
Let me ask you a personal question real quick.
Oh boy.
What's the sock on your other foot? Does it match?
Yeah.
Does it match? Okay, respect. Okay, just making sure you're not crazy, because
Tough crowd.
you're gonna show off a sock. You better have one to match.
Yeah, it was just a poor brewer.
I mean-
He's got to have mismatched socks. Then that's the way it is. You know, that's the
Looking
life
for
of a brewer.
sympathy.
That's the life of a brewer guy.
If it was just like a white Hanes, I would be very judgmental.
Jimmy, I gotta ask though. So with this, what's the name of the IPA? Do you guys? It's single hop.
So a single hop, yeah.
Is the idea to make it? I know it's popular to have like a single hop series that people do.
That's exactly what it is. This
okay.
is a first in the series, so
Yeah.
you could run our marketing department.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'm glad I thought of that. But so
Ryan Workman, who is our marketing director, you're now fired. We now have a new marketing director.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
You start
Can
tomorrow?
I move it here?
Can you talk now?
Can I move into
About to
here?
ask a question.
Ooh.
He's like, this is my domain.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
We'd be great roommates. Come on.
We would. We would never get anything done, and Ryan, we'd be back in
Kick it
charge.
around. Yeah, let's have some fun. So why did you guys go with Strata first? Because I love it. I think it's a really fun hop variety. I get a ton of melon off of Strata, and not a lot of a little bit of citrus, but not overly passion fruit necessarily, like you get from some other.
I get passion fruit on the nose, and I get the pine on the flavor.
Yeah.
So this is brewed down here in Littleton. I didn't brew this beer, but I can speak on it. Strata is just, this whole single hop series is showcasing these emerging hops that are coming out, and each one will be different. I'll admit, I think single hop beers always are kind of lacking just a little bit on one end because it's only one hop. There's a reason people use 2, 3, 4 different hops.
A little bit
Yeah.
unconventional, but
You want to accomplish different things across the palate, right?
But it also is a great learning experience to learn about a hop. There's only one way to do it, right?
Yeah.
Put it as a single hop beer. So this is the first Strata, and I'm digging it. I'm so freaking pumped to be trying this beer right now because
And then it didn't turn out terrible, and you can have it now.
yeah, I mean
there have
honestly,
been those moments. I
Of
mean,
course, yeah.
over all the moments that I've been with Breckenridge Brewery, there have been moments where it's like,
Well, I mean, I was going through your guys on
Do you guys
tap
dump?
list, and you guys
Do you
had.
guys ever dump stuff? I mean, I'm sure you do, but how often?
I don't think we dump a lot of beer in the fact I kind of equate people ask me that a lot up at the pub, and I kind of equate it to a cook. Like you come up with a new recipe or something, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna make this thing I've never made before, and maybe it doesn't come out exactly like you want, but it's
Tweak the
still gonna
recipe.
be edible and good.
Yeah.
But the next time you make it, you're definitely
You're
gonna
gonna do better.
change something.
let's not do that.
Well,
again.
it's also the pleasure of being able to do something on a smaller batch,
Yeah.
too, where it's just for the pub, so you don't necessarily have to.
Even when we make the same beer again and again, we still tweak it every single time
Sure.
we make
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And and this beer's awesome. I'm so
It's
freaking
very
pumped.
good.
Like I said, we're just really good at making malty beers, and we're starting to charge forward in the IPA game. We just got the Juice Drop out, a hazy IPA, and the Hot Peak, another West Coast one. But this single hop series is super fun, and I'm just pumped to be I'm so happy.
Jimmy, I
I'm
totally
so
agree.
happ's that our brewery's making beer this good right now.
As far as think about certainly hoppy beers are the number one growing category in craft beer.
Sure.
Think about that, and it's it's the heartbeat.
It's technically seltzer, right? So.
Well, okay, that's going to make me snap. So let's not go there. But here at Breck, I haven't seen the numbers lately, but I want to say about a year ago or so, the last time I looked at the numbers, IPA was about 6% of our business.
Wow.
Which
really?
is really, really low.
That's super low, yeah.
And, think about, quite frankly, the success of what we've done and all that kind of stuff with maltier style beers. I know you're jumping at something to say something. But to me, it says one thing from the business side of things. We've built the empire, the Breckenridge Brewery empire to what it is without hoppy beers.
Yeah.
In 6% of our business, there's a lot of runway to go.
Tons, yeah.
So to me, that's pretty positive, and if we can figure it out with different, we're trying to figure out hops.
Yeah.
And so once we do, holy shit, the brewery can grow
huge
a lot
opportunity.
bigger. Yeah.
Is this the flagship technically? Is it agave? Is it Avalanche? Like, what's the number one selling beer right now?
It's a little bit all over the map. Quite frankly, I think we still consider Avalanche really our flagship beer. There's a lot of connection to it and all that kind of stuff. It's not our number one selling beer.
Okay.
But if you take a look at the state of Colorado, we sell a lot of agave wheat.
Yeah.
In the state. But when you take a look nationally, vanilla porter's number one.
Oh yeah, I see that. I see more draft lines to that in most places.
Yeah.
And part of that has to do with the fact that there's not a lot of other nitro options out there.
Yeah,
So
whether we do vanilla porter and nitro or not, so
Sure,
it could be
that's
either
true.
or.
Yeah.
It's what you're going to find across the United States and stuff like that. But one of the amazing things is it's a dark beer, and for what breweries really have a dark beer is their number one selling beer.
Deschutes.
Well,
Left hands.
I would say
I get
beer
that.
ponds kind of.
No, I'm not saying there aren't any.
Well, right now Deschutes is like fresh squeezed.
Well,
that's kind of their lead horse.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and we just actually in November of the crazy year of 2020, vanilla porter just overtook Black Butte Porter as the number one selling porter in the United States,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool.
Humble brag.
Yeah, and I'm a huge fan of Black Butte Porter. What a beautiful, lovely beer. And but yeah, so kudos to vanilla porter as far as
it's always
that
interesting
kind of
to see the breweries that have made a name for themselves without it being an IPA. And the one that comes to mind immediately would be like Allagash.
Yeah.
Where they have
Very
white,
nice.
which holy shit! Like the
They
fact
own
that
it.
they
They own
can
it.
run that horse, run that whole thing with just one horse basically, and then they can do a bunch of other cool shit because of that beer.
Totally.
It's pretty wild in a category that a lot of people don't think about, but I don't know what it is now. I haven't looked at IRI data in a while. Geeking out.
Oh.
But it was.
Send that IRI data. Can someone give me that IRI data?
Somebody pull up. Yeah, don't you have an intern here for fuck's sake? Pull up
Someone put the
IRI.
IRI data on that Allagash beer.
So, but it was at one point the number 2 selling craft beer style in America, and there was only one real true BA certified craft playing in that category, and that was them. So the fact that it was, you had that one beer that wasn't an IPA that was kind of leading the charge is really cool, and I think that's really neat that you guys are doing that too.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's just great.
Well, I got a
That's kinda
story
slap-
behind
kinda
vanilla
slap you on the
porter.
back.
In all honesty, vanilla porter.
That's a good beer for people that don't like beer.
Oh, by the way, because we are drinking some
Yeah, what is
dark
this
right
beer
now.
that
What do we
we
got?
have?
Oh, by the way, you are drinking our Sexy Motor Oil.
Oh, is that the one that there's a can of it right
Yeah.
there? Okay.
So normally Sexy Motor Oil Imperial Oatmeal Stout around 10%. We barrel age it. We'll get it up to around 13%. This is a little variation with coconut and coffee.
It's
So
the session version.
little
so
little
it's 10.
dessert beer for
It's
you.
10%.
What kind of
I feel
barrels?
breezy. I just need to hang out on a hammock and drink this beer.
Yeah.
We
like
we
beach
brew
beer.
in Breckenridge up at the pub, and so
Coconut.
we hit the Breckenridge distillery up for almost all of our barrels.
Good
so
piece.
we have a great relationship with them. Barrel age, all kinds of stuff. They give us port barrels, some single malt barrels, some I don't know any barrels they
Just
got.
everything we got,
Yeah. So this is not barrel aged. This is the non-barrel aged Sexy Motor Oil aged on coconut and coffee.
Oh yeah, cool. This is great. It's really, I mean, the coconut. There's a ton of coconut,
Done to coconut.
Yeah.
which is awesome because that's such a I feel like coconut and real blueberry. There's a couple other things, strawberry. They're really hard flavors to actually like extract.
Totally.
Do you use any extract in this, or
No.
is it okay? It's just like raw.
No,
coconut?
it's toasted coconut. I think that also is key.
Gotta toast it. Like any kind of
Toasted
Keep
coconut
it
really
toasty,
helps.
baby.
What we've discovered
Toasty.
from our own experience, and also hitting up
You don't want
Golden
to-
Compass. They have an award-winning coconut porter.
Yeah.
You do? Yeah.
So
You don't want just like a bread and cheese sandwich. You gotta toast that thing.
toast that bitch.
Yeah, bread and cheese sandwich, it's fine. It'll
Yeah.
fill your gullet. But yeah,
Yeah.
toast it, it's gourmet.
Toasting it gives you more aroma,
Sure.
and then non-toasted will give you like more flavor
Okay.
from
fair
what
enough.
we've seen.
No, it's really great.
It's really good.
So actually, just as a reference, I suppose, this beer and the one before it, the single hop. Where can people get these? Is this out for distribution? Is it just at the pub, or like where can people? Find
We only
this?
make it for ourselves.
Nobody gets to
I'm
try
only kidding. I'm only kidding.
Access the Patreon.
The
So
single hop.
Yeah, go ahead.
The single hop will
Wow.
be in the
Go ahead, marketing guy.
IPA variety pack shipping
Yeah, sit down,
out of our
Timo.
warehouse tomorrow.
Hell yeah.
So you'll be getting it in this variety pack with all kinds of other little.
That's just
tidbits.
here, or is that going out for like distribution?
It's going out for distribution, actually. We're going to start shipping it out of the brewery tomorrow. So it'll go to our wholesalers and then into retailers and all that kind of stuff. But it,
Locally or nationally?
nationally, it's a 12-pack of hoppy beers from Breckenridge Brewery, which is I have
Wow.
I've never
Things
said
you
it
thought you'd never
in
say.
all my
Oh,
years.
man.
I know. It's like, what? So yeah, it'll have our hot
What is
heat.
this, an April Fool's joke?
I know, yeah. What time of the year it is? Hey, that's a funny thing. Speaking of April Fools, I always like to bring it up because I find it weird in my long history of working for Breckenridge Brewery. But the day that AB, the whole thing closed, AB buying Breckenridge
April
Brewery,
Fools?
it was April Fools. Yeah.
Boy,
Oh,
I'm
really?
sure,
I don't know. To me,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sure
that's good.
Colorado Let's Talk Craft Beer.
Yeah,
had a lot
and then
to say
everybody's
about it.
then everybody's mind blew apart and all that kind of stuff. And I was our marketing guy at the time, and so I dealt with all the backlash of.
Sure.
That's why I know you guys like to bring up, and maybe this is a segue into what you guys do of people leaving.
It would be.
We'll
yeah.
handle the fucking
Yeah.
segues around here too.
Don't you remember
even
this is Timo's fireside chat?
would be
But
Where the comedy stars.
yeah, but I wanted to tell you, bring it on, because I have heard it all, and I've been beaten up, I have cried, I have been pitiful. I can take it all.
And that's what we appreciate, and that's the reason we bring it up, is because I mean, you guys have,
yeah. Oh my God, it's the way the world
it's a pretty
is.
successful business by all accounts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the fact that
I'm pretty
we
proud.
bring it up because we think it's funny. Like,
I'm pretty proud of Breckenridge Brewery, but we took some serious hits, and I understand why. I'm not saying everybody's wrong, but yeah, it's that was a tough time.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, you're
yeah.
just dealing with. I mean, customer service is the fucking worst to begin with.
I can't tell you how many
Right,
times
so, I
I
mean,
want to
that's
tell people to
basically-
take a flying leap, but
Yeah.
but
Nobody
Before,
ever calls
but I
me-
get it. I
Nobody
get
ever
it.
calls
I
me
get
to
it
really
too.
love stuff. You know?
Yeah, I get it too. So
Before we bring up something like that, would you guys want to know how you did tonight on your chugs?
Please,
it's
everybody.
about damn time. I only asked like 49 hours ago.
When the hell were we going to interject, Tebow?
Fair enough. I see how you guys
No
try
pause.
to
I
say.
tried asking Jimmy 3 different questions.
I see you just plow in.
I see how you guys are trying to stay relevant
I
in
see
my radio show.
Which who do you guys think did better?
I did. Jimmy's lame.
Jimmy?
I don't know. I had a lot of crippling carbonation on my.
You know what?
Ah, he's making excuses
I didn't
already.
have to stand up and rub my belly and
So
go, oh
painful.
my gosh, and yeah.
So I'll say this. You guys were
That's
within.
hazy, but
that's
it's
a-
not sweet.
You
know,
were
it's
within
balanced.
1 second of each other.
Pretty
Less
good.
than 1 second.
No shit.
You were literally 9/10 of a second apart.
I mean, according to your thumb pressing.
Yeah,
and-
I'm very
Stop
good
it.
at this.
Hey,
We have video evidence. We have video
Yeah.
evidence.
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
We have a very sophisticated system here. Okay? Do not come at us.
Yeah, that's within the margin of error. Hello.
Yeah, somebody that held their can and I still nailed it.
Did you just is this goal regulation size us? Did you just do that? You're already making an
Yeah,
excuse.
so the pool out of tape measure. This is 10 feet and 6 inches.
I'm just saying, like, don't believe anything you hear.
Yeah, we got video evidence.
I heard you were a nice guy.
Fake news.
Okay, we'll make an exception.
Jimmy,
Yes.
you came in at a total of 10.18 seconds.
Get out.
You get 3 seconds off of that because it was over 8%.
That's not going to get me on the leaderboard.
No,
Will not.
Absolutely not.
Will not.
Absolutely not.
I should
But for what it's worth, Tebow will also not be making.
Well, we knew that from the
But that's
beginning.
actually not the important part here, from what I'm gathering from the tension between
You're right.
these two.
The tension between the important part
I love that we were close.
is that Tebow came in at 9.28 seconds,
But if you're
edging
not-
Jimmy out.
If you're not first, you're last, sucker. So it puts it at 6 point.
It puts it at 6.28.
And that's what, like 78th on the leaderboard?
It's
Pretty close.
No, I can look.
No, it's not that bad.
6.28. You barely beat out Skip from Wellworks. So
Who did threaten to throw it?
that puts you just.
What was mine?
Yours was 10.28.
7.28.
Jimmy, what they're telling you is I beat.
So what place did he?
But you came in right behind Dave from Ska.
Oh.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Thibodeau.
How the hell did I do that? But my joke was a lot quicker, but
Yeah,
Oh,
very
yeah.
much so.
Yeah, much better. However, you've been talking about as much as what you said this whole time is still Dave's setup.
I know I've worked on Dave a lot, and yeah, now I'm behind.
You're both talkers. We love it. No, that's good.
Well, if I'm behind him, I can still see over him. Love you, Dave.
Bird! Got his ass. That's awesome. So actually, I was curious. So do you guys, do you know what hop variety is going to be next in the single hop? Like, do you get any input
Yes.
on that?
So after Strata is going to be Sultana.
Mm.
And then after that will be up for discussion that
Okay.
we're working on right now.
No, what's the deal with Sultana? Because I haven't seen that as much.
It's another like just super fruit bomb.
Okay, but similar, like in terms of like acidity, like alpha acids
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
I'm sorry, bitterness and relative passion fruit sweetness kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. And
We'll see how
I'm
it
a
goes.
sucker for Galaxy. That's always
Yeah.
anytime there's something with Galaxy in it, I'm kind of smitten. For the most
Yeah,
part.
it's those Australian, New Zealand hops are hard to come by, and they're good for a good reason.
Yeah, of course. Do you have? All right, let's get. I want to get into this a little bit. Sometimes I'll ask brewers what your least favorite hop variety is. So I want to know that. But then I also want to know what's your least favorite beer style.
My least favorite beer style. So
Because Tebow brought this up.
that's a
before the show
no-brainer for
even
me.
started.
It would have to be the freaking the smoked beer.
Ooh.
Oh.
Not a big
Roush.
Roush beer, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not the Roush beer, only because I used to love mezcal and smoky, all things smoky. And then at our 31-year-old pub, we started getting this like smoke character developing in our beer as an off flavor. And I've been traumatized ever since.
Was somebody just throwing like marble pellets into the kettle or what? Like what do you
So
mean?
it's a gas fired
Sorry,
kettle.
I'm getting it.
It's a gas fired kettle with like 32 years of
Yeah, it just got
scorch.
burned out.
Oh.
So the bottom is scorched.
I have
and
to speak
no,
to that.
No CIP cleaning can ever remove the
Smells like
scorch on the
chemistry.
bottom.
I
And
tried-
No,
I tried mixing
I
it
have to
with the
speak
kettle.
to Jimmy's trauma of working with that brewery up in Breck. And it was back in the days, 30, 31
still
years
all
ago.
original equipment up there.
Where
Yeah,
there
yeah.
weren't
Totally.
Probably
Yeah.
working with
They
limited,
weren't-
you're working with
yeah.
limited
No one
space,
built a
like,
brewery
sure-
that
Oh,
size.
space. There's,
But that's
there's
also
no
awesome
space.
too.
Right.
It's like
Jimmy's got to open up the back door to get ventilation
You
going.
don't want to
and-
know how I get the
and-
kettle fired up.
Rusty.
look at his
Why
arm.
don't
He
you
has
call it a
no
farmhouse
hair on
brewery?
his arm because he's got to stick his arm under there.
I don't
and
know what
fire
you're
it
talking
I
up.
about.
haven't looked at his arm at all because I've
Yeah.
been looking at his gout foot this whole time.
This guy's broken.
The
He's
guy's
got
not staring at my toe. That's what's making it swell.
Yeah, it's Jimmy. That's an incredible system
What's
up there.
cool
in
about
Breck,
the
but-
pub in Breck is that it's all original, right? So it's like a 30
Have you guys ever been to the
pub?
brew pub up in Breck?
I have not.
That's
Guys,
super
you
cool.
have to go. To me, it's one of the most
What are you doing after the
beautiful.
show?
Yeah, let's go. We'll jump on the Breck truck and go.
grab a coffee, let's get out of here.
Yeah. To me, it's like I call it the altar of beer. You sit at the bar, and right behind it is the entire brew
It's
system.
awesome.
Is
It
it copper
is-
or is it steel?
You'll cry.
Stainless steel,
Okay,
like
okay.
You'll cry.
fabricated
It's beautiful.
old dairy fermenters, cut in half and
Yeah,
welded
old school.
together, all custom made. Like these brew houses didn't exist.
Oh
back
man, I
then,
feel so
it's
bad
just
for you.
like
You're still
totally-
using like the OG dairy
Oh,
equipment,
OG.
like,
Oh, yeah.
trumpet and shit.
I mean, if you're
Awesome.
if you're sitting at the bar when Jimmy's brewing, I mean, he's using the hose and the whole deal, and you could get sprayed. I mean, it's
It's
that
like front
close.
row at a
Like a
gallery
soccer
show.
show.
You
Like,
should
hey,
have
hey.
protective glass for.
Do you guys have bar
bar
seating up there right now with COVID? Can you sit at
No
the
bar
bar
seating now.
No?
Soon.
But that's the thing about a hose is that you can still spray into the dining room.
Yeah.
It's,
You understand completely. Yes.
Yeah, that's the best part. But it's so fascinating, and I don't know. I find it charming to see some really old brewing equipment. There's something about the old stuff that makes it actually, you know what? It's anything old. That's why I love a dive bar too.
Yeah.
Like an old dive bar. 'Cause
Totally agree.
the equipment, the walls, it speaks, as opposed to everything that's so new. That's like sometimes I'll see a brand new brewery, and you'll go in there and you're just like, I just don't feel anything from this
Yeah.
place.
Oh no,
I
you'll
get
be
it.
feeling us.
Yeah, I'm feeling it. Yeah,
You'll be feeling us.
it's like a Blink-182 song. I'm feeling this.
We'll be up
Speaking
on the
of
backside.
emo, where are you?
Yeah,
I'm at Breck Brewery.
You guys have to come up, man.
I would love to. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I have an Epic Pass, so I am up there.
Yeah.
At every,
All right. Well,
Yeah.
we'll get you up there and we'll show you around.
Yeah, that'd be tight.
Opening up an avalanche.
But I love some of the.
I'm doing it just to piss him off.
Yeah, please do. So
Can someone get him a Christmas sale?
yeah, please grab me a Christmas ale. I'll chug that.
I'm trying to think if I have one here.
I saw the lamp.
I'll chug it and I'll spit it out. So yeah, I love that about old breweries where it's just like you can feel the character of the place.
Oh yeah.
Can you guys think of another place that you've been to that was kind of like that? It could be a bar, like it doesn't even have to be a brewery, but just kind of like, God, I love this place because it's been around for so long.
Yeah. I think certainly Breckenridge is iconic in that sense, and I don't know, they don't build breweries like that anymore for whatever reason. Everything's always behind glass and stuff like that. So if you have the opportunity to go to the brewery in Breck, I promise you, maybe you've seen a brewery like it somewhere, but it's pretty unique.
There you go.
That is the lamest
That
burp
was
ever.
adorable.
Hey,
it's
you don't
adorable.
listen to enough of this.
If I had a
podcast.
kid, that's how my kid would burp. But anyway, I think
Carbonation.
I would go back. I think I haven't been to every brewery in
You've been
Colorado.
around a lot of places. I mean, you toured the country doing events and stuff. So.
Yeah, and of course I'm a huge champion of Colorado. So I think Carver's down in Durango.
Okay.
One of the first brew pubs in Colorado.
Oh,
They have a pretty cool, unique kind of setup there. Wynkoop certainly does. It's right there.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of all the old stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know who changed the rules, and I don't know if you have to put it behind glass and stuff like that. We're not.
No, you don't.
I don't think so either
But
because
some breweries will they'll get new. It's really hard to buy copper tanks these days, right? But some breweries will actually get stainless steel and then they'll coat it in copper.
I've seen that before.
Because they still there's something about it that
I think-
just has this rust.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Jimmy's system. You do have some copper bands on some of that stainless steel.
I don't know, something about it that's just really nice. It's kind of
It's like there needs to be, but I don't know.
Maybe.
But
Carvers you like?
Well, I'm just saying as far as the uniqueness and what it is.
Yeah.
I am not trying to be biased by any means, but I love sitting at the bar at the brew pub up in Breckenridge.
Sure.
And it's again this symphony of beer.
That's cool.
Right behind you. To me it's jaw dropping. It's emotional. It's
hard to imagine
beautiful.
going anywhere because we haven't been anywhere since March 15th.
Right, so the concept of a
Yeah.
place I visited, what does that even?
I remember.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I
Even
went to
that,
the brewery and had a beer.
Some of my nostalgic bars and breweries and stuff are fucking completely chill. the Squire was one of my favorite bars, like
Oh,
Dive Bar.
yeah.
But like it's
Yeah,
totally
Cold
different
Packs.
now. Yeah, it's totally different now. So it's like,
Yeah.
and that's not because of COVID.
Well,
that
Don's
was-
mixed drinks changed a little bit. And,
Yeah, I mean, dude,
it
Don's.
used to be where the
dude.
hole in the floor in the
And then,
restroom.
dude, Don's got so fucking popular where it was like, I don't want to come here on a Friday or Saturday at all because it's
Kudos to them that own it and all that
Yeah,
kind of stuff.
absolutely.
I get you. Yeah.
One of my good friends lived a half a block away, and we'd go there once a week, and
Yeah.
it just got so it got very new.
They're not doing anything wrong. They're doing everything right.
Exactly,
And,
yes.
Yeah. And people
And
are
I
like,
am
this
a
is the
sack of
coolest place
shit,
ever. Yeah.
So
We all
And
know
then we
that.
all get grumpy
Yeah.
and go,
Yeah.
well, I was here. Yeah.
we all get grumpy, and we're like, I'm a culture czar.
Jimmy, you got one of those spots though where you're just like it's your favorite bar, or it's just nostalgic for you. You just, like you love the vibe of the place.
Man, I'm just like picking my brain right now. That's why I brought it up.
He's a
I was like,
Breckenridge. He's a Breckenridge.
I don't remember going anywhere.
Have you been living
It's
up
been
there?
so long.
I would have to. I
Yeah.
would have to say. I think the brew pub up in Breckenridge is one of the coolest spots in Colorado.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not just saying that because I work for Brecken and whatever. That brew pub up in Breckenridge is what made me want to work for Breckenridge Brewery.
Right.
Sure.
You just fell in love with the place.
A lot.
You can feel it. You know,
Yeah.
it's the thing. You just feel the vibe.
Again, if you've sat at that bar, you'll know exactly what I'm saying.
No, I feel you.
You will look at it and go, again, it looks like, it's like going to church and those big churches or whatever. Clearly, I'm not a church guy. But you go there and you see the organ with all the pipes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's what Breckenridge Brewery reminds me of. It's just beautiful. It's like it's just.
Drink a couple of 9%ers, start
you
speaking
walk in and you
tongues.
hear
They serve you this beer and they say you're gonna go to hell.
and then once they serve a beer across the bar, all of a sudden you hear, wow.
Yeah.
That's the brew pub up in
I
Brooklyn.
think at the end of the day, it's not about like being old and nostalgic. It's about making good beer. I think there's a lot of new breweries that are making awesome beer, but to be honest, I think there's a lot of crappy beer out there,
Sure.
and it's a bummer to craft beer, and it's a bummer to me. And there's nothing more more exhilarating than discovering a new brewery and then actually they make awesome freaking beer,
Yeah.
And some of these
Pleasant
new breweries
surprise,
that do it right, like yes, they're beautiful, but they also make awesome beer.
Fair enough there. Jimmy and I have traveled across the country, and I can think of one brewery where we probably had the worst experience we've ever had in our entire life. And I'm on the sales side of things. I'm full of crap, and I'm chugging it down because it's like, okay, I feel like I need to finish this.
Yeah, I feel like
And Jimmy couldn't finish it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Jimmy, just finish it. I don't want these people to feel bad. But he's like, but it's disgusting.
What's
And I remember, and then I reached over and I tried this beer, and I'm like, oh my God, that might be the worst beer I've ever had. I'm like, damn it. But they're nice people. It's a cool place. And I tried to talk us through it, and quite frankly, they shouldn't be in business.
Give me a state.
No.
Colorado. That's there's
It
comics like that,
actually
too.
wasn't Colorado, but
There's comics where it's like you're the nicest person I've ever
Yeah.
met, and you're so friendly, and then you like watch their set, and you're just like, I have to go outside or go to the bathroom. Like, I just can't.
You take the beer to the bathroom trick. What you would never do, take your beer into the bathroom. But
you
we'll
do it
make
to
an
dump
exception
it.
for this one because I'm
Right.
not coming out with it.
Yeah.
I've been in that situation a few different times, and I'm not saying Breckenridge has ever been clear of that because I know.
If you
Let me tell you,
if you experiment enough, though, that's the thing is you're gonna swing.
No, he was gonna say.
Get into it.
He was gonna say, "Let me tell you a secret on a podcast."
No, it's not a secret. It was years ago. It was about 15 years ago. I went to Charleston, South Carolina for the very first time. What an amazing city!
Beers out here.
Yeah, we're doing.
I keep going to the
You guys are
refrigerator.
staying tonight.
I went to Charleston, South Carolina, and I don't remember the account, but it was my first trip out there. I was so pumped to go all the way out to the East Coast, first time ever that far, and I went into an account that served Avalanche. That was our number one selling beer.
Sure.
for a long
Yeah, you gotta
time.
make an appearance.
Went in there and I was so pumped, and it was a cool place, the whole thing. My chest is all pumped out, and I go in there and I said, I'm Tebow with Breckenridge Brewery. yeah, pour me an Avalanche. And the bartender says, oh yeah, this beer's been selling pretty good. And he pours me a beer and I drink it, and it was absolutely disgusting.
Oh, because they hadn't like cleaned their lines and shit. Yeah.
It was a lot of different issues, and as smooth as I like to think I am sometimes, I said to the bartender, I'm like, hey, thank you very much for pouring me a Breckenridge beer, and I'll take another. And I'm like, by the way, I'm here, I'm the rep, and I just want to check some stuff. Is it cool if I go back in the cooler and check it out? And I looked in there, and the keg was like, it was almost a year old.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And it was still one of your best accounts? What are they doing, a C?
No, it wasn't a best account. It was
Okay,
just the first account I ever got.
They just had it, okay.
Yeah. And I was so pumped to have the coolest beer. To me, as a rep that sold beer, and this was back in the day when I was one of our first sales reps, and I'm like, holy cow, we're in South Carolina. To me, I just was
That's
like,
so cool.
I'm selling beer in South Carolina.
That's like when
Is that not the coolest
when
thing?
I worked for Harpoon and we went to Puerto Rico one time,
Yeah.
they started selling craft beer a couple of years before that. We had the good accounts in Puerto Rico. And I was like, holy shit, I just think it's so cool that you're selling our beer here.
Totally.
Yeah,
I thought we arrived.
Yeah, of course,
I'm in South Carolina. I'm drinking Avalanche on tap.
Are we going out?
We're going out. I got it. I'm a Colorado boy.
Yeah, so I'm like, I've got Avalanche on tap and the whole deal, and we're cool as shit. And then I tried the beer and it sucked. It tastes, and Avalanche can turn pretty quickly. Probably one of the reasons why you don't like amber ales. They can taste like dirty
How
old
do you know I
socks.
don't like amber ales?
I've heard you before. But they can taste like dirty old socks, especially when they're old, and
So
just
funny.
barely old. And I went there and it was the most disgusting Avalanche I've ever had. But I held my composure and I'm like, well, maybe you're just in the line, the whole deal. I asked to walk back in the cooler, check the beer. Holy shit, it's old. I got mad at the distributor.
Of course.
I'm like, you need to get another keg in here, and they delivered a new keg, and it was just as old as the old
That's
one.
the thing about
And
it.
it was like, and that was the day, by the way, I got a point to make. That was the day I realized that no one cares about your beer as much as you do.
No,
And
of course.
that is a shout out to everybody that wants to distribute beer.
Yeah.
It's a shout out to comics too.
It's a very, very difficult thing. No one cares about your beer.
Nobody cares about your jokes as much as you do. Also,
Yes,
it's the
yeah,
same.
fair
That's
enough.
all.
But
And
once
it's
you-
discouraging, but
Once you
realize.
go into outer markets, it's out of your hands. You know,
It-
like
it
if
really
you-
is.
That's the growth monster, right? Like the growth monster is that we need to continue growing because
Yeah.
we feel like we can. But I think what a lot of brewers don't realize is that once it goes outside of your immediate bubble, you can't control it.
No, you can't.
Sierra Nevada put in this
You
initiative.
want it to be lovely, but
They put in this initiative a few years ago called Fresh Friday. And
Mhm.
every Friday they wanted us to go to merchandising counts and pull out out-of-code beer. The amount of beer that
you don't have a
well,
truck big enough to pull out.
Yeah, because I mean, distributors, God bless them, like they're great and they're flawed for a lot of different reasons. But a lot of times, if you were to go to an account and then tell the rep, like, hey, there's 2 cases of out-of-code beer here, I need you to pick this up. A, it never gets picked up, and then B, if it does, it comes out of their money. Like it comes out of their commission or their
Yeah, I was
income
going
or
to say
whatever.
there are some.
So they don't want to fucking do it. So then all of a sudden we have mountains of beer that all the reps are buying because Sierra Nevada is a national brand. Not only is it the national brand in every state, but they want multiple SKUs in every store in every state.
Yeah.
So that growth monster is not as lucrative as you think it is, especially when you're
Yep.
2,000 miles away or whatever the hell it is, right? Like there's repercussions for this shit.
There are.
And sometimes you can't control it. A keg of Avalanche went to a bar that hasn't cleaned their lines, or it's an old keg.
Well, that's a
or
whole
it's
different
warm
story.
cooler or whatever the fuck, right? Like it's not up to you.
Yeah, that's the thing, and I guess really the point of the whole conversation here, I think, is everybody out there listening is, realize that maybe it not be the brewery fault, and don't get mad at them about it.
That's the
There's-
whole point of
there's-
this conversation?
Well, no, there's a lot of things going.
Hey, don't get mad at us, guys. Like, don't.
Well, yeah, come on, let's all be nice,
Jeez,
guys.
We put a lot of thought into
No,
this.
there are people that go ape shit and say I had the most terrible beer. That brewery sucks,
I
and
know,
all
I
that
know,
kind of
yeah.
stuff. Is really what I'm trying to get
I'm
at.
just here fact checking.
But yeah, realize there's a lot of things out of
Yeah.
people's hands.
Well, actually, I mean, because
a brewery doesn't suck because you had a bad beer.
I mean,
Correct, yeah.
let's be honest. I have some reviews that disagree.
Well, I got.
However,
I'm I'm on it. There's a
But
couple
by the way, the
things
review
on it.
thing, do you guys ever talk about good reviews?
Yeah,
Or-
sometimes.
Okay, yeah.
If they're just
But not this time.
I
Okay.
look for funny reviews. I ultimately just look for funny. And sometimes
Yeah.
those are 4-star ratings.
Well,
sometimes.
Breckenridge Brewery's big, and we've got a lot of moving parts, and
You
so,
have a ton-
yeah, we'll try to answer it the best we
Yeah,
can.
that's okay.
But I'll make shit up as we go.
So a question that I asked Jimmy earlier, we kind of dodged, was what's your least favorite beer style? And then the other thing I want to ask you is what's a brewery you really love right now? So it's not just about negativity. Like, yeah, I also hate certain styles, but like, what's a brewery you really love? Like outside of Brad.
Oh man, it's funny because we have a bunch of beer tastings and beer colleges where people bring bottle shares, whatever you want to call them, and everyone ends up bringing a new image and drinking a lot of different
Yeah,
new image
they're good
beers.
friends of the show.
I love a lot of the new image beers. I love the ding ding, all the dyads.
Great, we did not pay him for
milkshakes
this.
and all that
Even though I'm
stuff.
Does they write you a check too?
Even though I'm handing him a $5 bill.
I like beer for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
that's
make
probably-
really great shit.
Yeah.
As far as like locally, for sure.
Yeah.
And then what's your least favorite style?
We went over that. Come on.
Which one?
You weren't taking notes?
No.
The smoke beer.
Oh yeah, sorry. But we didn't really dive into it. I feel like we pivoted really fast,
Yeah,
so we didn't like
that's
really
right.
get to dig in.
I probably interrupt.
I've also had a couple beers myself. So. Timo, you do the same. So best brewery that you've had recently, or something you really love, and then what's your least favorite style?
Probably I'm old school a little bit. I'm a little bit of a traditionalist, and I like that for a reason.
That's why I like Ambers.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm a big fan of Odell Brewing Company.
Yep.
I think all the way around, anything that comes out of Odell Brewing Company is
Greg
well.
Odell's the man.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
one of those
well
breweries
thought.
that even before I moved here, top to bottom, everything they do,
Yeah.
you're just like, fuck, I love this.
So yeah, and are they cutting edge or anything like that? I don't think they're a brewery that can be that. Really, you can't be that aggressive. But they're smart. I'm a
And
big
they're consistent too.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. So yeah, when I guess when I go anywhere and I say, oh, that's from Odell's, I'm in.
Yeah.
So
You
I,
can count on it. That's
yeah,
one of those things, like, no matter what it is,
They've
you're
built
just
it-
like, you can count on it.
they've built an incredible reputation. So
Yeah.
one that I'm jealous of. Kudos to them.
There's
Then-
something to be said for consistency.
Yeah,
that's
totally.
that's difficult to achieve
Yeah.
on the pub scale on a 32-year-old.
Well,
system.
yeah, exactly.
I've
And that,
definitely made my share.
Yeah, knowing that, like what you said earlier about like, well, some of our beers aren't always like consistent; they change from time to time. And then you were like, yeah, we're still brewing on the old dairy equipment. I'm like, oh yeah, I get
it changes because
Yeah.
We couldn't make the same beer twice if we wanted to.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, so a little bit again because Odell. I don't know. I just know I'm always going to have a great bear from those guys.
Sure.
And so are they cutting edge or crazy or all that kind of stuff? Well, maybe that's not. I don't know. I just know I'm going to get a good beer from them.
Yeah, it's tight.
If that's fair.
It is very fair.
Jimmy, do you like tiki drinks? Are you a tiki drink dude?
I mean, I'll drink anything.
Well, that's gross.
Hey,
Do you have a tiki drink for me?
So where are we?
No, because New Image has like the newish line. It's not super new, but their line of like tiki drinks.
Yeah, they do this this series called Hey Bartender that's modeled after tiki drinks.
Oh, that's
So
hilarious.
Yeah,
That's all. That is. I know.
And
I
it's
love
a
that.
big. Apparently, like I don't drink tiki drinks. I'm more of a like if
They're
I'm
pretty
not
spot
drinking beer.
They're usually
Don't
like
they have the
a
single hop
billion-
series, single
lot
hot
of
choice?
sugar,
gallons
That-
of
lot of
yeah,
sugars.
yeah, the
Lot
greatest
of
name
alcohol,
ever,
too.
single hot
Yeah.
choice.
lot of
single hot,
a lot of
I
juices.
know.
If I'm gonna drink something like that, I would probably go like a grenade. But I stick to like master.
They're kind of doing the fruited. It's the kind of the fruited sour thing, but
Interesting,
it's
yeah.
higher ABV. So most of the stuff's at least like.
Speaking of,
7%.
is that
Yeah.
what you have here? What? Did you
Oh,
already drink
there's
that?
just a little
A pink velvet. We got a
little,
pink velvet.
little
here.
nitro cocktail.
Yeah, and I'll
This
get back to
is
your
nitro,
question
isn't
real
it?
quick,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
this is so we have
If you
this.
haven't noticed, we kind of go all over the
No, it's okay, man. I know.
If we want.
I know. Here at Tebow's fireside chat, you guys are whatever.
This is the newest
we're
release
debauchery.
here. It's kind of crazy.
This is out of my wheelhouse. But,
Raspberry ripe
kudos.
lemon with a subtle juniper spice. So the whole idea
Is it
behind
nitro?
the
Okay,
whole idea behind the Velvet series
You can
is
tell with that.
using the nitro head to mimic the egg white ingredient of
Oh,
like
that's
bar
cool.
cocktail.
that's
so
really
like,
cool.
Yeah.
like the golden velvet, I think is like a take on a Pisco
Pisco
sour,
sour.
which
Yeah.
is my favorite.
Yeah.
This one's the most popular, but I like the golden.
No,
I like
this
the
is,
Pisco
yeah,
sour.
this is great. It's very
So it's
delicate,
very
it's
different.
flavorful. There's like nothing off about it at all, right? Like, you're not picking up any off.
This is one of those things. Breweries are asking to kind of reinvent ourselves and redo different things, and so this is instead of just doing another sour, which by the way,
Or
excuse
another
me,
seltzer.
which we're coming out with a seltzer.
Yeah.
It's called In Good Company. It'll be released here in about a month or so.
Cool.
We'll talk about that later. But this is something
Later?
I think.
We're going
Yeah,
later.
we're going later.
We're not wrapping this up.
Oh no, we're
This podcast goes for a week straight. We're trying to tell you.
yeah. I'm good
crap.
to go about another 4 hours. Yeah, it's gonna be last. It's kind of like the touch the truck thing.
Hold your better views.
Yeah, yeah. But
You guys are gonna edit this down.
this
right?
one is, this is something that a brewery in Colorado, I understand we're a little bit restricted on what we can do and what we can make, but this is something that instead of the seltzers, this is something we're working on and being able to do, and with the technology of the nitrogen can packaging,
Yeah.
pretty unique.
I'll be honest, I hate most nitro, like not all nitro, but I hate most
Yeah.
nitro. Like even coffee,
Yeah.
I'm like not a fan of nitro. I just
I'm a
don't.
huge
Yeah.
fan, so
But
you
this
and
is
I are
like-
never going to get along.
Yeah, we hate each other.
That's okay. That's
But
okay.
I like this.
I think what's super
I like-
innovative is that nitro version to emulate that egg white
That egg white.
cocktail.
Yeah.
Shake,
Classic
shake, shake,
cocktail,
shake.
yeah.
You know, so
Um,
that creamy head. You know, incidentally, I say this every once in a while. I love working with nitrogenated beers, or as I like to say, nitrogenized. I like to make up words, but to me,
yeah.
you know, you got CO2 bubbles. Yeah, there you go. CO2 bubbles are, you know, kind of a certain size. You can kind of see them.
Yeah.
I love the nitrogen bubbles, and what I call those are the
They're
bibbles.
baby boys.
They are the bibbles.
Baby
Baby
boys.
boys.
Baby,
That's
you guys are
alliteration.
like cut from the same cloth. I have a feeling.
And
Baby boys.
when you're a culture czar, you can, you know, rename things like this. So these are the bibbles.
Veto power.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Dude, I think you're spot on with that nitro element, adding that egg white kind of quality to it. That's cool. That's really it's awesome that it's so well thought out. Like,
So here's the funny thing. So, you know, for those, there are people, and I actually have a friend that you know, can't do the egg white thing. She's allergic to eggs. So it's so funny. I talked to Carl, who's our head brewer here at the brewery in Littleton, and I'm like, Carl, so what's the secret behind this whole thing? And if you knew Carl, he's hilarious, very dry, and he's
Which
like,
is why he's on the podcast.
yeah.
he's a lager of man.
Well, Jimmy couldn't make it. It was going to be Carl. Carl's not very chatty unless you get a
Jimmy's
lot of...
like, oh, we're gonna keep going, and he brings back 3
Jimmy
more beers.
just literally always been
Someone
Jim-
said there's no.
Jimmy's shifting into
game.
3 gears right now.
This
but
is my favorite.
but
I like
Carl's
this
what? Carl I love, but you get a little bit of whiskey in him, then he starts to talk. But anyway, it's so funny. I'm like, Carl, how do we, you know, what makes that creamy head and all that kind of stuff? Because, of course, nitrogen gas is part of it, but you still need kind of a protein.
Yeah.
And he's like, it was in front of us all along. I'm like, what is that? And apparently it's chickpea powder.
Whoa!
So we had chickpea powder, and that's kind of the protein part of it. And I'm
Oh,
like,
come on, Sharon.
and I'm like, how has that always been in front of us all along? I don't know. But Carl's like, well,
That's pretty sick.
I've never, like, even chickpeas I think are pretty rare, especially in like Denver. But to have like a powderized.
well, chickpea, it's like it's what they make hummus out of.
yeah,
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
not
yeah.
uncommon to Denver.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's
But
very
I mean, okay, but
hipsterish.
anything chickpea is like usually
Yeah.
coming from out of state.
Sure.
Chickpeas don't grow here, is what I'm
Oh
saying.
yeah. No.
Well, we do amongst
On
the
our
deer.
facility. In our facility.
All right,
do you
well,
ask?
fuck you.
That's all we do here is.
But anyway,
chickpea
so
and
apparently it's a little bit of chickpea powder and nitrogen gas, and voila, you emulate it.
That's all it is.
Standard combo, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
everybody knew that, right?
Yeah.
I'm only saying that
It's just
'cause I know
science.
it
It's just
now.
science. You know? So what's your least favorite beer style?
As a craft beer guy, I'm always embarrassed to say I don't like IPAs.
Okay. I mean, what? Why?
Yeah,
There's nothing wrong with that.
And sours.
No, I'm learning to like sours.
My man, we are the same.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I'm telling you, this is like draw
Yeah.
the line right down the middle.
Yeah, we divided the table up evenly for sure.
Here's my thing, and I think it's why I don't like IPAs, and it's why I don't like what people call sours. Is I don't like the
Baltic Porter?
extremes.
You've been hiding a Baltic Porter
That's
on
what
me
he
this whole
jumped.
goddamn time?
That's what he was.
That was
talking.
the out of controller.
God damn. Told you.
9.2.
Yeah, there's
But
one-
anyway,
this
so
one-
I think here's what I like. I like balance.
It's a lager yeast, so
Yeah, love it.
How many conversations we have going on here at the Tebow Fireside Chat?
I mean,
Sorry,
we're
were
2
you
hours
saying
into a drinking podcast, so this is how it
your
normally
microphone
goes.
has been muted for.
It
20
is
minutes,
not. I'm
so
still
it's
plugged
fine.
in.
I
I got a red
secretly turned it
light.
off.
We still have some shit to talk
Yeah, it's like that episode of The Office where somebody was like, Creed started a blog, and then he was like, yeah, just opened a Word document.
Here's my goal. My goal is to be the longest show you guys have ever done.
You got time then.
Yeah.
You need time.
What's
Oh,
the longest?
I'm
I don't know if our batteries will last that long. to be
No, we're good
honest.
for right now.
I'm good to go for 2
Longest
more
is
hours.
Chad
so.
with Crickets Dave, which is they've been getting longer recently, which I think means we're doing better at this. It's Crickets Dave was almost 3 hours.
Holy.
Yeah, but we're at.
I'm not afraid.
We're at 2 hours right now. But the thing with Crickets Dave was that
It was a comic. It was a comic friend of
a
ours.
mutual
also.
friend of all 3 of us was on the show. So Chad went to high school with a guy.
Chad's
that
awesome.
we do
Yeah, I was
comedy
going to
with.
say, I'm a huge fan of Kirkwood Dave. Chad is one of the wizards
Yeah.
of sour beers.
Let's go Bears, Bear Creek.
And he was
Chad's a
great,
good dude.
But I think it helped a lot that we were on the show with a buddy of his who's also a buddy of ours. And so he just loosened up kind of right away. We were just like, let's just get it. Let's just get it.
Yeah.
And
Also,
not
I think
every episode is like that. But
the next day was one of the most hungover I've been in 2021.
Chad at Kirkwood Dave is one of the smartest brewing dudes in the business.
Yeah.
In
Well,
my
we've got an abundance of
But
that
what
in
do I-
Colorado.
I haven't been hungover since the pandemic started.
Wow, you
Because
can
I've been
try
drinking
it.
every day.
Yeah. Just
Ah!
keep it
But
going.
I haven't been hungover, but my foot sure has.
Yeah,
But I do have gout.
my foot is speaking for itself.
I got gout.
The forever
Pandemic
hangover, if you will.
collateral damage.
Have I answered all the questions yet?
No, did you? Well, I didn't.
Is there
I missed
more
the beer
questions?
style. What is the beer style?
For
IPAs and
IPAs,
sours.
yeah,
Yeah, so
Everything.
like IPAs.
Yeah.
malty
Okay, so
beer.
you don't like IPAs, but that's. I mean, but that's.
What about tailpipe? Okay.
So you like, but you
No,
say
those are
that,
good
but then you
because they're
drink, but then you drink a beer like the single hop, right? And you have to sell that. So somebody that doesn't like IPAs,
Yeah.
like, do you really like that beer, or do you like it because you know it's well done and you have to sell it?
No,
Can I jump in right here?
Yes.
I'm going to jump in right here and answer
Jimmy,
Tebow.
take it.
and he's going to say Tebow's full of
Because
shit.
Tebow is a pro and
He's a
he
spitter.
can drink that beer and appreciate it for what it's worth and judge it and still be like, this is a freaking awesome beer. It's what he said earlier. It's like, this is, like he saw it pour out of the glass and it's like not an orange color. It's a light West Coast color. Like it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's
and
definitely
all
more
this
West Coast than it is New England.
Well,
Right.
yeah, thank you, Jimmy, if I may take over. Because you guys
You don't
are
want him to
patting
speak
me on
for
the
you?
back enough.
You don't want to
Allow me to interject.
No, it's my job to know beer styles and all that kind of stuff. And of course, we all would love to live in a world that it's just all about us. But yeah, I know all the stuff.
Yeah, we're comics,
And
we get it.
Yeah. I know what's right. I know what's wrong. Is it my wheelhouse? No. But the single hop IPA from Breck, Jimmy and I almost danced naked here before you guys showed up because I was so impressed with it. So
Let's go dancing
yeah.
with wolves after the show.
Yeah, is it going to
They
be
got
my
yards. There's a
yeah?
hole.
Is it going to be my go-to fridge beer? No,
Yeah.
that's just not my world.
Do
but,
you at least lean more hazy than the West Coast because it's sweeter, or like what's your deal? Do you
Yeah,
have a preference?
yeah.
Okay.
I visit a lot of breweries and stuff like that, so of course, crazy over the top, punch you in the face IPAs are always going to be like, because I talk to brewers, I'm like, hey, what should I have?
Yeah, of course.
And that's where most brewers are going to go.
Yeah.
And of course, I need to be there, and of course, that's what I'll drink first. But and then I'll be like, hey, that's awesome. That doesn't mean it's the beer that makes me comfy. And then typically I go to, what do you have dark?
Yeah.
Dark and malty. And I'm a dark and malty guy year round. A lot of people are like, oh, it's a dark beer. You can't
I
drink.
would say that I'm dark.
Yeah.
I'd say I'm dark. Not necessarily malty, but I'm dark.
Oh, by the way, this Baltic, love it. I wish there was a little more roast character to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Baltics. It's one of my favorite styles.
You know,
It's too thin on the back end. I feel like it could use a little bit more roast. Like whether it's coffee, like a coffee flavor, cacao might be too much. I like a good kind of coffee roast on the back end of a Baltic. Whether it's legit coffee or just a malt you use, but it's to me it's. And we lost Tebow. He died.
Tebow's
And-
the 9.2 out of controller.
Jimmy's got the gout. Tebow died. And
It's okay.
But it just,
That means
it's a little-
actually the ownership of the culture center reverts to you guys.
Thank you very much. Yeah, this is why we've ultimately.
This is your new
Yeah.
clubhouse.
Oh boy, I can't wait to see what I do with that fucking yard that has so many camping spaces.
We'll tell tales of your story. It's just a little. It's a little thin.
Yeah.
I don't know if you feel.
I
that
feel
way.
like the thinness, like we thought was made. This was brewed by our newest assistant brewer at the pub, Stone Fisher. Shout out Stone. And I think the lager yeast gives it that kind of like quality of like thinness.
Oh, I know
And as
you
it
want it like
warms up,
thin, but
but then I think as it warms up, it's a little better. But for sure, I mean,
because it's not a regular porter, that's why you that's why you use a lager yeast.
Yeah.
You want it to thin out and be a little more dry. I'm just saying like. Either there's not a crispness on the back end that you would want from like the lager yeast, or there's not a roastiness that I would still expect from a porter.
yeah.
So just I get it. I think it's
No, I
good.
love the feedback, and I think this is like at the pub we do our own thing, and I think we've evolved up there doing more IPAs and sours because that's what the brewers love up there.
Yeah.
And we end up like steering away from the malty beers, and Stone's been a great blessing where we're like, oh, we need to do like more malty beers, and like Baltic Porter, sure. So this is like our first attempt at a Baltic Porter.
No, yeah, it's
And definitely taking notes and gonna make it again and tweak the recipe.
well, I'm
which is
just
cool.
stoked that you guys are making one. That's why I'm giving you
Yeah.
notes on it. Like
Yeah.
if I didn't give a shit, then I wouldn't tell you.
No,
anything.
it's awesome.
But it's kind of like a sports beer. I want those same kind of qualities that you would get out of a stout, but you get that lighter body, right? Like that's the reason I like a Baltic Porter is because it still has some of those roasty elements to it, which I feel like you're getting a touch of it on the front, but you don't get it. You don't get that big kind of roast on the back with that thin body. So that would be my only comment.
Oh,
Like,
man,
it's just-
I appreciate it because like we never really got to make lagers at all because we're so freaking busy up
Right.
there that it's just we're cranking
Yeah, you
through
can't
the
time
ales.
space.
So now it's like the lager game is new terrain for us.
Yeah.
By the way, new terrain. I love that.
I'm not
Big,
as big of a
big.
fan, but
I gotta
that's cool
say-
you are.
this is very off topic and like out of left field, but the velvet that I'm drinking, like having drank a lot of seltzers, this shit is fucking like the fact that it's not carbonated is really fucking growing on me. I prefer this. I already prefer this over an actual seltzer.
Have you tried the
I hear
golden
you.
yet?
No, I'm
The
about
golden
to.
is more
but,
like
dude.
yeah.
I was skeptical at first because I don't like nitro. Again, I don't like nitro.
Well,
but
you're like,
seriously,
oh, it's pink.
I'm really curious to hear.
it's not even
take
that.
on
Like
the
I've had like pink beers and stuff. Honestly, one of my favorite beers in the game right now is a blackberry. They call it a champagne ale by Chain Reaction, a little bit up the street.
Again.
Oh, I love those guys. Chad's awesome.
Oh, dude, I grew up playing hockey with Chad.
Oh, right.
Great
Good
friend
beer.
of mine.
Yeah. Solid.
But they're black. Like I love their blackberry impact. But the seltzer wise, this is the next. I honestly think you guys are ahead of the game.
Well, I'd have to say,
There's
of course, everybody, again, we're going
it
to come
just
out with a
feels
seltzer.
barrel.
Everybody's coming out with a seltzer.
Dark
Not
Horse whiskey
everybody, but
barrel.
a lot of people.
I think this
But
is the future.
I think what we're doing with the Velvet series is a break from kind of what the next level. So I think we're a little bit ahead. Whether it be your thing or not, I'm a beer traditionalist in a
Same.
sense. I want beer to taste like beer, but I really enjoy some of these. They're kind of tasty, and I love the technology we're putting into
Well,
it.
and I
And the nitro, if I may say real quick, I know you got something to say, apparently. But I'm all about nitrogen because I love infusing nitrogen into stuff that pushes the CO2 out. Much like where I can't chug beers, I don't like swallowing all of that CO2.
No, that's the thing. It's like, and that's with seltzer.
said swallowing.
I like to drink more.
He doesn't like to spit the CO2.
It really does. Like
Don't
this
judge. Don't judge.
We've had like it's like
We appreciate all walks of life here. Rotating tap pipe.
You know, Jimmy pours you guys stuff and I get nothing.
No.
Are you cutting me off?
Yes. We're the media, okay?
You
You're
know,
supposed to be impressing us.
Allow me.
Press kit.
I am the culture czar.
Sounds like
Maybe
This
drink
is
some water.
the culture center. This is my house.
I want beer to be for the the styles.
You guys just totally ignored all of that. Thank you very much.
This one's more like Gatorade.
Go on.
Were you saying something?
Nothing. No, don't worry about me.
This is better than seltzer.
I'm not responsible
For sure.
for what happens
That's
after
awesome
this.
to hear.
Yeah, I prefer this over seltzer. Again,
Yeah.
I don't drink nitro. I don't drink nitro coffee.
Yeah.
Nitro beers, I typically stay away from, except maybe like a certain stout. But
We weren't
like,
ignoring everything you were
Oh,
saying. We're
Tebow.
talking about nitro.
Oh, I'm not listening to you guys.
But he presented.
Oh, don't worry about
he
it. At the
presented
Tebow
us
Fireside
with beer.
Chat, don't worry. You guys are.
And then I
Don't
got
worry.
intoxicated.
Don't
by
worry.
the
The army is coming to take you out of here.
Yeah, the ABI.
yeah, I got nothing better going on these days.
See,
No, but I love. I'm with you though. Like I love nitro. I love the texture that it can provide.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah, totally.
There was a movement a few years ago to do nitro IPAs, which was trash.
Listen,
Yeah, because essentially,
that is true nitro.
snap, crackle, pop,
Yeah.
baby. But the nitro IPA, I think they were essentially trying to mimic cask ale, which sucks because it sucks a lot because cask ale can be such a beautiful thing.
Totally.
And the fact that they were even trying to bastardize it with nitro, which is like okay, but now you're just subduing all of these hop flavors that are essentially so.
Oh, it drove me
There's
nuts.
so much money to
Who
put in.
was it that did what they call it, DPA, draft pale ale, 1,000 years ago before you were born?
Who was it?
Oh.
I don't remember who it was, but it was a they called it a pale ale, but they started with an IPA, and then then you throw nitrogen on it, so it was okay.
California brewery.
Yeah, well, I can't remember. I remember.
I mean,
for
draft
whatever
pale ale
reason,
is a version of Sierra Pale, but like
yes. It just you throw nitrogen is gonna.
But there was no nitrogen.
It's gonna mellow stuff out.
Which works for some styles, but for an IPA,
not
it's
for
just
IPA.
like-
It's stupid.
But for a seltzer, I'm gonna say like this is like game changing for me because it's a seltzer, but instead of
He's
being
glowing.
carbonated,
He's
it's
glowing.
nitro.
But this is the seltzer line
found
you guys are
anything
coming
like-
out with?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
But
not at all.
I do think
Yeah,
that
because you
this
brought that up, and I was like, I didn't think this was.
No,
IPA,
we
yeah,
have
like
Yeah,
it
go
is
ahead.
it's seltzer flavored essentially. Like it's the same.
Well, yeah, it's down that technology a little bit, sort of, kind of.
I see this being the future, honestly.
tell
I
us-
do.
Firestone
Over seltzer.
Was it Firestone Walker?
No.
Well, that's DBA. They do double barrel ale.
That's
Yeah,
what I was
that's
saying.
not
Son of a bitch.
So we're coming
Say
out
that.
with a seltzer. We are coming out with a seltzer. We're going to call it In Good Company, In Good Co. And that about a month or so ish. Yeah, this is something completely
There's no more
different.
for you.
So
What's the viewpoint on this? Like, where did you see this going? Because the seltzer market's clearly like, hey,
clear
seltzer's a very
and
popular.
domination of the world. No, I don't know. Let's see.
I mean, what's the target audience?
Target audience is mostly people that are hanging out and looking for kind of fancier cocktails and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Now this is it's fine as what it is, you know, like whether you're on your back patio or somebody a 14er or something like that straight out of the can's good because it's all built in with the nitrogen technology. And so we're able to give you that, you know, creamy head on the top. Sure. But I'll tell you what, go to our website, breckbrew.com. Here's the marketing guy going on. These actually, I think, get even better when you add a little bit of alcohol to them, whether it be gin.
Duh.
There's some
Yeah.
yeah, some gin, a little vodka, all that kind of stuff. So they become even clearer. You know, the path is clearer to kind of those old-timey cocktails.
Do you know how many calories are in the seltzer yet? Like the actual seltzer you guys are making?
Ours? No, I don't.
Because that's the thing, is like that's the big selling point of like seltzers is the
Yeah.
calories. But this has 135 calories, which is not much.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, this is better than any seltzer I've ever had. Both of them.
Thank you.
Both the pink and the gold.
Which one do you like better?
I'll be honest, probably the gold a little bit more, but like they're not that far apart.
Yeah.
Like pink guy a
The
little
pink's,
bit.
See, I'm
pink's killing it. I
Yeah.
like the gold.
I like the gold too. I like the tartness of the gold. You know, kind of all. It's not meant to be a margarita by any means, but
But
it kind of that flavor.
You get like a
towards-
little bit more peel than you do actual fruit juice.
Yeah,
there you
I've
go.
never had
It's
anything
still sour.
like this, and I
Bomb.
would rather drink this than any like. Granted, like I like a fucking.
Well, I have
White
something
Claw
for
or like
you
a
to
truly.
take home.
Wow.
Great.
Look at
Oh
that.
boy.
Yeah. Is that your virginity? Okay.
Velvet variety pack. Hello.
No, these are so good. I really am fucking blown up. Like, again, not a fan of Nitro. These
Yeah, I
are
hear you.
so good.
I hear you.
And
Yeah.
they're cool because they're actually like super innovative, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing like it
They
out
are.
there.
The
No,
problems
that's-
that I've seen.
that's what I say is like focus more on this because this is.
But the problem that I've seen with cocktail crossovers is that you're really it's a struggle. Like as you know,
I
from
hear
a
you.
marketing
I don't
perspective,
like them. I don't. Yeah.
Because-
It's like. Ugh.
because if
Yeah.
a lot of times if you're trying to crack into the cocktail crowd, they're like, I just want a cocktail.
Yeah.
Right. So how do you market?
Why don't
that?
I just order a cocktail?
Right, but you know, so kind of what we talked about earlier was like no matter how good something is,
Yeah.
sometimes the market isn't ready for it, or they just don't know that it's out there. That's hard. Like this is going to be a hard one to crack.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, just from.
But everybody
what I
said
know-
that about seltzers too.
No, that's very different. Like that's a very different thing. This is you're trying to crack into a different
Look at
industry.
this.
Oh
You
boy,
can't
look
hear
at
that.
that. Ooh.
Velvet variety.
Yeah.
Oh, greasing the judge here.
Yeah,
I
so
guess I
we-
should have been more glowing about
He's
it.
just
Yeah,
he just rose
yeah,
up to
yeah,
high
you don't
on the
get one.
leaderboard of chugging.
First place.
But what I was gonna say is, I said, like, so I think the very different thing with seltzers is that this is trying to attack the cocktail market.
Yeah.
Seltzers isn't trying to.
I don't
attack.
think so. I think this can attack the seltzer market.
Well,
I think this can take that.
Sure, but I'm just saying the seltzer market and the cocktail market are very different places. Like people that are going to the cocktails aren't worried about calories. They're worried about flavor. They're worried about the nuance. They like spirits. The seltzer market are people that want a buzz but still want flavor.
But also, I
Those
mean,
are
I
two
would
very
say
different
that a lot of the seltzer market also likes the carbonation specifically because they get the flavor from the carbonation where you don't have the carbonation here, and you get that flavor. And that's why I think that this actually has like a legit fucking future.
Well, but it depends on how you market it. Like, so are you guys going to market this towards the seltzer market at all?
I make beer.
Yeah, I mean, well, if we're just spitballing here, so if I'm kind of ping ponging
No, I
these
hear you.
things,
No.
it's like okay, so all right, so just from a consumer standpoint,
Yeah.
what is the one thing that he has mentioned this entire time that we've been drinking this?
Seltzer.
It's a seltzer.
Yeah.
So, are
Yeah.
you going
And the lack
to,
of carbonation.
even though that's clearly not what you're intending?
Well, yeah, that's kind of
Yeah.
part of the thing is we're not necessarily trying to be another seltzer, clearly.
clearly.
But yes,
I'm just thinking like, all right, so you, like our little focus group that we've got right here, and you're the marketing guy. You know what I mean?
He's
So
a
that-
czar.
this is, but this is
I'm
just
a
where my
czar
brain's
now,
going. That's just where
yeah.
my brain goes.
I
is
would,
that,
I would think that like the difficulty in recreating a like pisco sour at home with egg whites and shaking it all, and when you could just crack one and pour one.
Yeah.
I think at home, I think that is an advantage for
it's a
sure.
huge appeal. Yeah.
But
But
it's
that
in a
market's
can, right? Boom,
Yeah.
you open it and you're
Well,
rolling.
yeah.
So like bringing egg whites out to the
I got
beach.
See what's going?
Like you want to do like pisco sours on the beach. You're not bringing egg whites to the beach, right? So you have like
No,
Cantonese corn.
I get the intention entirely. I'm just thinking about my own experience with certain industries and what categories seem to drive and which ones are sustainable. And if that seltzer category is as sustainable as it is, and you guys are essentially making a high-end seltzer that's a cross between two industries, my fear would be that if you just go all in on, hey, this is a cocktail, and you ignore the seltzer crowd,
Okay.
then you're not capitalizing on that
Right.
market. Like I'm not, you dip a little heavier into the
That's a
cocktail.
purple
then-
drink right there.
Ooh, yeah. It does look beautiful.
Purple drag.
does
For
look
glassware.
But do you get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
because I've seen this
Come on.
happen so many times. The camera's
Look at
that.
I know it is. I'm throwing
Show
it
it to the microphone.
Look at that.
Beautiful.
No.
Yeah, Hey, microphone.
Can we get some action?
Look at that.
But the other thing is
Tebow,
like,
what I've seen, I'm sure
I'm
you've
handing this to you guys.
seen, yeah, take it.
Look at that.
Tebow,
So if you
I'm
were to-
sure you've seen that before, though.
Oh,
where
totally.
You're like, okay, we have the best of intentions for this product.
Of
but
course.
we didn't market it to the right
Yeah.
demographic.
No, I hear you there. We're beer guys, but yes,
Yeah.
we're producing something like that, which is going to really appeal to a
I'm a
completely
beer guy
different
too.
crowd.
I'm a beer guy too, but also I think obviously, but like, I do think
Look at that. That is
gorgeous.
That is a beautiful, beautiful.
Can I get
And
a
I
picture
will
of that?
say
Yeah.
that is not a beer. That is a
I'm going in for the photo.
you know, in the appropriate glassware, the whole deal, and it's really, we're not trying to put bartenders out of business in a sense.
No, we know.
You know, from them shaking the egg whites and all that
What
kind of
about
stuff. But yeah, hold that up to the microphone. But look at that.
Luckily, we have
That
the
is
camera.
that is a
Oh, man.
fantastically
No one told me.
amazing cocktail.
Purdy.
It
You
is.
got
And
Purdy
you,
lips.
you don't
got
have
Purdy
to
lips.
you don't have to be a bartender.
No, I know.
All you gotta do is open the can.
I've just seen the best of intention.
No, I
products
hear you there.
To, like,
No, I hear you.
I think this is extremely marketable.
Yeah,
I do.
we got to figure it out. We certainly have to figure it out. I think our brewers have gone over the top and created something completely different.
That's what I'm.
Yes.
So here's the.
But that was how seltzer started too. I'll say that. That's how seltzer started too.
Do it with the microphone.
They can hear it.
Okay. But that would be actually my caveat if we were sitting in a marketing meeting. It would be, okay, this is close to a seltzer-ish, right, in terms of what people are looking for.
Yeah,
It's
I
four
hear you.
carbs, it's
Slim can.
It's 135
Yeah.
calories. It's a sexy can. And
Sexy.
sexy. It's something different than what everybody else is offering in that category. So I'm not trying to pigeonhole you guys in the sense that
No, I hear you.
like it's a seltzer, but from what I'm thinking about it in like a marketing meeting, I'm just
Yeah.
like, okay, what are we offering that somebody else isn't? And if you're trying to start,
We're offering that.
but if you're offering a new category, that's a huge hill to climb. If you're just saying, hey, this is a higher end seltzer, that's less of a hill to climb, and you could be playing in both sandboxes.
I guess
You know what
I guess
mean?
I want to ask you.
I'm taking notes.
So I'm just
I gotta
saying
pay-
that, okay,
I
so you go to, all right,
brought-
so you go to,
brought-
so you go to Happy Camper in Highland,
Uh-huh.
which is like super Instagram heavy.
Yeah.
Have you been there?
No.
Okay. Happy Camper is
No, I hear
essentially
you.
this like trust fund Afarian place that people open with a shitload of money, and that's where all the trust funders go and hang out. They post Instagram pictures, right? They all drink low cal, low carb shit.
course.
Okay. So you pour this into a glass like you just did, and you tell them that it's like a high-end seltzer as opposed to,
Yeah.
oh well, it's a pre-made cocktail. Like, what's gonna? Like, if somebody wants a cocktail and they go to a bar like that, in my opinion, they're
It's
gonna
like
order
a
cocktail.
seltzer, but better.
Yeah, but if
Yes.
but it's all playing on the mind. Like you're playing
Yeah,
on people's.
for sure.
You're playing on people's insecurities,
I like
which
it.
is why they're doing this in the first place. Why
Of course.
why they're
Of
doing
course.
calorie
Of course.
conscious stuff in the first place. You're playing on their insecurities.
Also, why you guys pick these cans, right? Like you pick the cans.
Yeah, this is a good
Yeah,
looking.
it's a slim can.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's-
soft.
it gives that like idea,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, of course.
But so this is the first time that I've seen something that's even close to like, hey, this could be considered a seltzer that offers a different experience.
Look at you guys breaking.
Man, we're gonna have.
What else is there? Like, what else have you seen in the seltzer? You're a marketing guy. You've clearly like done some research in the seltzer.
There's seltzers
category.
on top of seltzers on top of seltzers.
Yeah, but what's
Yeah.
different about any of them?
Exactly.
No, I totally agree.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah,
and then
this
there's
is-
going to be some lemonade versions of a lot of different things coming down the pipe.
Yeah, well, Vizzy just
This
had
is-
one that came out
yeah.
with electrolytes, and like, really, that's the
this
groundbreaking
This
part
is
about
something
this?
that is completely different from all that kind of stuff.
I know
think
it
that's
is,
what they're
yeah,
kinda
but it
saying.
still
Yeah.
kind
Don't
of
worry.
fits
Don't
like,
worry.
in what people are looking for in
Yeah.
that particular deal.
I like what you're laying down.
And technology-wise,
Okay, wait.
again, because you know the seltzer
Obviously.
thing, every brewery can make a
I'll drink
seltzer.
to that.
Not every.
We're- Can someone clear all the empty cans off this table? Because I can't.
Intern.
Yeah, we're making a pyramid. But
I
this
don't
this
even
is
know what
something.
you grabbed.
I know. I keep grabbing things in our office. I think we need to get to the refrigerator.
If my toe doesn't blow up tonight, I definitely don't have gout.
And actually, your toe's bleeding.
It's like the Boston
But
Red Sox
this,
pitcher.
yeah, the lot of
Going
what,
back
we,
to the
what we're
Baltic
doing
border.
here is because of the technology that we have in the packaging because with the nitrogen and the whole deal.
Yeah.
This is an amazing thing.
It really is.
Yeah, I hear you.
That's why I don't want it to squander. You know, that's
Don't worry.
because I've worked for breweries where
we're dipping Jimmy's toe in the water.
I want that flavor.
Yeah. And I hope you know that's where that's coming from.
No, I totally get it.
Shit,
That's why I don't have all the answers.
I've seen
We
the
have
best.
developed a completely, perfect new product, and
It's how you market it, man.
Yeah,
It's literally, it comes down to like, what demo are you going for?
Yeah,
And that's
it's kind of blowing our mind too, how awesome and perfect it is, and
Yeah.
we'll figure it out.
It's very good.
Yeah.
Well, big fans.
Well, let's find out about people who aren't.
Yeah,
big
let's talk
fans.
some shit.
Oh, actually, you know what?
I gotta go
I'm sorry. I know this podcast is
What
going
is this,
long,
a
but the reason I wanted to
79-hour
ask you-
show now?
but the reason I wanted to ask you
What?
guys about the least favorite beers is because fucking Breckenridge Christmas Ale. God damn.
Oh,
I
yes.
do not.
You know what? You don't even have to say it. You don't have to like it.
I know, I don't have to
because
like
a
it.
billion people do.
They
And,
do.
yeah.
It's nostalgic for them, and winter warmers have a place in
I know.
people's hearts.
You're the only like 8 keg thing that I've ever seen on the market, which I think is great marketing too. Like
Fake
nobody's-
keg?
that's
Yeah.
not the kegs that they sell.
The
Like
mini
you can
kegs?
go to the grocery store and buy a keg.
Oh yeah, the mini
You've seen
kegs.
those?
Yeah, no, I get that, and I hope you know that it's just it's fun for me to kind of.
Oh, I can deal with it. Yeah, don't worry about it. Oh no,
Winter warmers were just like this thing of
here's the
90s that
here's
were
the
just
deal.
like, ah.
You know what? Here's the deal. It doesn't matter what you say.
Whoa!
Because-
does it not? Does it not? I feel like my voice carries a lot of weight.
No, hang on. Here's all I'm saying behind that. Even if I didn't like the damn beer, Christmas Ale is pretty much our 4th best-selling beer, and we sell it 2 months.
2 months of the
Yeah.
year.
We crippled the brewery come about June to make enough Christmas, and we still, quite frankly, don't know. We run out of Christmas Ale usually about the 1st of December.
Yeah.
We still don't know how much
To make.
Christmas Ale we can make.
Yeah,
And
winter
still-
seasonal is like the tightest time
Yeah.
frame. Because you basically got right after October and then the end of
Yeah.
December. Like it's a really fucking tight window.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to fight by any means, but this is a beer that we've been making since 1993.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, way back in the day when no one put spices or anything in the beer, which we don't.
This was new age back then.
It
And what
was
spices are in it?
none.
There's none?
No.
So what's the general characteristic? How would you describe it?
Mount Hood and Simcoe hops are there, which
Okay.
emulate a little bit of spice.
Okay.
I've talked to a lot of people before. They're like, "Oh my God, I love your Christmas ale. I love the cinnamon in the beer." And I'm like,
Yeah.
And I learned years ago, don't argue. Just
Yeah,
say,
of
"Oh,
course.
thank you." There are no spices in our Christmas.
Okay,
ale.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm a little surprised by that.
I know,
felt
a lot
I
of
was
pe-
picking
a lot of
up
people
a
are.
bit of
A lot of
spiciness
people are.
to it. Maybe that was my own
No,
impression
it's okay.
of it
Yeah.
going into it too.
Well, what
But-
I'm telling you
He's
is
also
you're.
a
I mean,
Grinch.
so
He's
biased.
Yeah, I know. Usually I'm the Grinch, and I will say you're wrong.
Okay. That's okay.
No.
I'm on the show. Dude, I like to be proven wrong, or I like to even be. I like to be challenged. I still am not an amber guy, but knowing that it's a little bit more of an IPA heavy beer, just changes my perception of it at least. And
Yeah.
next time I try it,
Let the beer speak for itself.
yeah, but I didn't like it. So
No, that's fine. the list of beers I don't like is long.
I know.
And even at Breckenridge Brewery, there are
Well,
beers
from what
I
it's,
don't like,
and I say that, and I'm with you. I'm here with you guys, and I appreciate the candor and the awesome.
No, totally so.
But
I take no offense by it
I
because
know, I know.
truly sales are behind it. So
Of course.
yeah.
Oh, hello.
I want you to know that I appreciate
Hey,
all
we
the
got
beers that
texture.
we've had, and everything's been fucking awesome and great.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, the reason we wouldn't have wanted to book this show if we didn't.
Dude, I know it's not your style
So
of
I
beer. It's
care about
okay.
it, yeah.
No, it's all good. Christmas ale is amazing for us, and quite frankly, like I said, we're still trying to find the end of the trail on this whole thing. And one of the greatest things, John Mallett, who's the operations guy at Bell's Brewing Company.
Love bells.
He was the guy that convinced us because we talked about that 5-liter mini keg, and John
Those Hop Slam mini kegs are going to be
Yes.
coming out anytime
What?
soon. man.
John
Yeah.
Mallett
Oh
is
my
the guy that
You've
came
seen
to-
those, right?
Uh-uh.
You've never seen a Hop Slam mini keg?
Uh-uh.
Holy shit!
Oh, they're coming out.
That's a party.
Oh, they're
Colorado.
gonna rule the world.
I don't know in Colorado. They were available in New York for sure.
Yeah, and so John Mallett was the one that came to us and said, "You guys," because he's an
People
old
are
friend of
gonna go
mine.
crazy.
John helped us build our old brewery on 471 Calumet Street, and
I didn't know that.
yeah, and John was like, "You guys have to get this." You know, he's like,
He's the
we're
coolest.
looking to sell it." It was a 4-head filling machine to fill those 5-gallon kegs. He's like, "You guys got to do this." And we're like, "Really?" And we believe in John like you wouldn't believe. And we said, "All right." And we put just happened to be timing, whatever. We ordered these little kegs that come out of Germany. And we ordered them, and I don't know how long ago it was. I want to say maybe like 6 years ago we started putting Christmas ale in these kegs. And it blew up.
Yeah.
Our production guys hate us.
They are fun to fill.
They're like, "Are you serious?"
Between that and mix packs, you're just
Yeah,
like, go fuck
yeah.
me.
Yeah, very exactly. Very
We're
labor
always
intensive.
hiring on the production.
And then throw that on top of a beer brand that is blowing up. Christmas ale is, like I said, our 4th best-selling beer.
Yeah. Dude,
2
one thing
months
I,
out of the year.
Yeah.
which is nuts. One thing I will say, just because I love telling this story, is a friend of mine, Joe Turco. He's been on the podcast before. He's the sales manager from Sloop Brewing.
What does he do?
I'm taking a picture,
assholes.
assholes.
Yeah.
Jimmy always thinks he's like at the Academy of
like
No,
taking pictures.
we're really
This is
bad
awesome.
about taking pictures, so
Yeah.
it's good that he
Oh,
reminded
okay,
us to
alright,
like do this so we can take them after.
I'll send you the picture.
Sure, but we'll take
No
some
charge.
more afterwards.
It'll cost you $1.
Yeah. Oh, that's actually pretty cheap. I expected it to be more.
That's what I expect from a czar.
Well, a little bit.
Yeah. So my buddy Joe Turco, he used to work for Bellis. He's the sales director for Sloop.
I was gonna say the name rings a bell, but
He's like the Yeti. He's a notorious creature,
Right.
and he's the same size and just as hairy. But when he was the Bells rep, we were just in town. He was in town for an event where I was living, and he sold. There was a really good two-hearted account in town, and they were like, "We want Hop Slam because we're a great two-hearted account." And they're like, "I don't think you're the kind
Amazing
of account
beer.
that needs
yeah.
Hop Slam though. Like you sell this IPA really well, but are you going to be able to sell this double IPA in bottles very well? It's a
It's
sports
one of those
bar.
things you
know?
know your customer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so he sent it to him anyway. But he sent 2 cases to him because he's like, "Okay, you guys are a good account. Like, I'll sell it. Send it to you anyway." And then when he was in town for an event, he's like, "Guys, this account's been sitting on 2 cases of Hop Slam for like months now,
Yeah.
and nobody's bought it. Are you willing?" It was me and like 3 other beer reps that were like in town that night. Do you guys want to go over there and drink 2 cases of Hop Slam?
Oh, yeah.
Because he had the company card and he's got to get rid of these cases.
Delta Force.
Oh my
coming in.
god, yeah.
I've been there before where I've had to take like our production guys and like we gotta kill this kid.
I know. I've been there before
And
too.
we go there and get
Some accounts like they've called me the garbage disposal before because I will literally just say, "Run my card, buy everybody the beer
We're
here,"
buying this keg.
because it's either the keg that I have on and I feel bad and I don't want you to sit on it,
Yeah.
or I know it's a keg that's sitting ahead of mine
Right.
that's really slow, and
But
then
yeah,
I'm like, "Hey, I'm gonna buy
It's like
10
I want it on tap. Yeah,
I want
I've
10
done that before too.
I want
yeah.
10 Flying Dog Cujos
Yeah.
like on my tap." Like,
Well,
right
that's
now.
always kind of the problem. Where if you're the new guy going on tap,
What was the
you're
Cujo?
always going on the
It was
slowest
great.
mover.
It was this like coffee port. It was a coffee stout that Flying Dog did that was so
I
fucking
really like
good.
their raging bitch.
There was one particular, but so niche and kind of. It was really that beer had a few problems. Like it was fantastic, but the kegs
It's good beer.
Kegs were too expensive and the flavor was too nuanced. Like a
Yeah.
Belgian IPA, like it's
So good.
real good, but there's
Yeah.
just not a lot of people that
Yeah.
are like on board for that.
I remember.
But Cujo was one that this particular beer bar. It was one of those ones. It's almost kind of a quintessential early 2000s beer bar where they did really well with all of the stereotypical craft beers at the time.
Yeah.
But as soon as you put something on that was like mildly obscure, it sat there for 2 months.
I hear you.
You know,
Yeah.
so so that one in particular that comes to mind was at Sammy Malone's in Baldwinsville, where I'm from, and it was this keg of Cujo was sitting on, and I knew my keg was going on after it, and I was like, I don't care who the fuck wants it. If just run my card, anybody in here that wants a Cujo, just buy it.
There's
for me.
nothing better than like we gotta go drink this beer.
That's
You're
one
like,
thing I do.
yeah. You're like, fuck yeah.
That's
we're
one thing
gonna
I
do
do
that.
nice about having the expense account of the brewery is having those few and far between opportunities where you're just like, I'm gonna buy the bar a beer. Like I'm gonna buy, ring the bell.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna buy the goddamn bar beer.
That's
And
awesome.
I miss the
It's
expense
probably
account
my
for some of those
favorite
reasons.
part of being in this industry.
Yeah, and sometimes you can negotiate it with the owner or the GM ahead of time. Be like, hey, we got to kill this keg. I'm gonna buy everybody around. Can we at least do it at cost, so that it's not like full retail?
Let's move forward. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna swipe my
I
card
hear you,
and
man.
we're gonna do the hey everybody.
What kind of tip do you put on that?
I mean,
Big.
big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You always take care of your bartenders and servers. Hello, Jimmy.
Yeah, of course.
You were a bartender
I'm just
once.
asking.
No, that's
Yeah.
you don't no tip on something like that.
Yeah.
I'd like to talk about some of the bartenders and servers.
Great.
Segue.
Am I gonna need another beer? Or shall I just?
I have
do
beer for
the
you.
whiskey?
You need a beer?
Yeah.
Here's a beer.
Yeah,
Here's a
oh,
brick lager. Maybe a glass of water? I don't know.
Don't judge.
Just saying.
Bring it on. Like I said, back in the day,
So-
when AB bought Breckenridge Brewery, I was the guy that had to reply to everybody on social media. So
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely been some moves away from that back in the day. So you've seen
those were the
things.
those were
And
the
a lot-
days. Yeah, I cried every night.
Most people ignore these, but we've got some. So I'm going to start with the most recent. We'll go back in time.
Nah.
This one is from 6 months ago, about this very location. Yeah, fresh.
Get out.
Jonathan B. says.
JB, my boy.
Well, it was your boy.
Oh, JB.
JB
He's
says,
upset.
great atmosphere and great beer. Staff is feeling the stress of COVID and rather cranky, quote unquote.
Dude, tell me.
They need forgiveness, but should also be a little bit more upbeat since they at least have jobs. 3 stars.
Huh. I'll take that any day.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know how to respond.
Yeah, holy crap.
I mean, okay, so I work in the restaurant industry. It's like, yeah, it's nice to have a job, but also anybody that understands that the industry is a nice thing, that like having a job is nice, right? Like during these times.
Yeah.
Why would you go give any
Shade.
any non
Start
5-star review?
throwing money
Are you sure?
in my general direction.
Oh, Corey's gonna have an amber.
I know.
Hold on.
He just flashed this
Corey's
in
gonna
front
have
of
an
me.
amber.
We're in an alternate reality right now.
We are.
Corey
Apparently,
is,
you just want to be
very
mad.
much.
this is mine. I would like to speak on this one because I think
Jimmy's
that
more in tune.
up
on
at the
bird
pub
box.
in Breckenridge, we have built our whole model on being busy as fuck and just having a good time, and not being able to do that is crushing us.
Yeah.
And then every single day we have new guidelines that we're supposed to follow.
Every day is a fucking different thing.
Every day.
Every single day.
It's shady,
and
man.
we're
It's-
broken.
yeah.
And so like to try to like take care of our fans that are coming, like our locals that
And then-
come in
and-
every day. We don't know what to do with them because they can't hang out at the bar. Like, go stand outside in the cold and the wind. And
Well,
we'll
you guys are
order
in such
beer.
you're in a unique position because it is such a tourist spot that people again come from all over the world to go to Breckenridge, right? That's why the name is,
I mean, this-
is useful. But
But we're
Then
talking
they
This
about.
come
review
there and they're like,
specifically is
"Here."
for here.
Yeah.
oh, it's
not,
from Littleton.
not the mountains. This
Yeah.
one is for.
But
we'll get into the
but
mountains.
still,
Sorry.
yeah. But still, it.
I just don't think. I guess I'll just say that I just don't think that people realize how much anxiety that the servers are.
My
Yeah,
God.
they choose
My
not to
God.
think about it.
Yeah,
Just
I think
Yeah,
that
there's-
I see the
like,
frustration
what is
from the
going
guests.
on?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
But also,
Oh,
like that
absolutely.
guest, and that guest is also claiming to see the frustration with the server, but the server is literally risking their life. And he's like, "Well, at least they have a job." And it's like, yeah, but you don't understand like what the feeling is to be a server during COVID.
Well, and again, we can go pretty deep. Thankfully, we as Breckenridge Brewery now, and because of our partners in business or who acquired us and all that kind of stuff, we've been able to keep everybody.
Water has not been
Everybody.
touched yet.
that is.
We're gonna
Everybody.
Are you gonna
There
have
is
some
a
water?
picture of untouched
I
water.
think
I-
we're gonna have some water.
You know what?
No,
That's a
the
great
picture
point,
of
Jimmy.
water
And I'll
is
get back to mine. But
Classy.
I think the more water evaporated out of that pitcher than we drank.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah. Okay. But
Which is why this segment's supposed to be funny, but we're all like, yeah, this is deep.
Yeah, but yeah, truthfully, thankfully, honestly, because of our partners in business or our owner or whatever, I don't know the fancy term, and I'm not trying to gloss over anything. Thankfully for Anheuser Busch, all of our folks, all of them, 100% of all of our people have been able to keep their jobs.
That's incredible.
And
That's
they've done
absolutely
that.
incredible.
And so we're pretty lucky.
People are so willing to just shit on something, and they're not willing to praise.
Yeah, we're
This is
very
like when things are good, like when they good reasons. Good
because I know buddies of mine that own their own breweries. They're struggling, and it's sad. And I know all of the owners of breweries, they're crying themselves to sleep and stuff like that because they're trying to take care of their folks. And luckily here at Breckenridge, we don't. Yeah, I am so thankful that we don't have to deal with that because I would be crushed. My buddies, all of them out there in craft beer, holy shit. I don't envy their position. Kudos to them. I can't say enough.
One of the reasons that we do this, especially since the pandemic started, is we want to condemn people as much as possible from being pieces of shit and potentially harming somebody's business because you feel entitled enough that, like, while we're living in a crazy time.
That's why I'm trying not to go off.
No, that's our job. That's our job.
Yeah.
The 9.2% out of controller hasn't taken effect yet.
Yeah, but we're hoping.
I think I'm holding up well. Yeah, bring it on. Bring it on.
In controller.
I am culture czar.
I mean, a lot more like beer-centric, nerdy people listen to this show, and it's not necessarily a lot of casual consumers, but I'm hoping any casual consumer.
There's a lot of people that don't understand the situations, whether it be us.
That's because they're choosing not to think about it. Like that's not. You can't just pass. You can't give them a passive kind of. Well, they just have. They don't understand. It's like you can choose.
They don't understand, but they need to understand. And quite frankly, it goes back to the. I'll go back not very long ago. Again, when Anheuser Busch bought us, people were brutal. People were terrible. People were assholes. I get that they're upset about the whole purchase thing. I get their passion. I'm all about it. Trust me, I'm the guy that loves the local coffee shop and all that kind of stuff. I get that too. But there was a lot of us, and this is the biggest rant you're going to get out of me.
You promise?
Maybe. But there was a lot of us.
Jimmy's like, God, I've been listening to this.
There's a lot of us that work for Breckenridge Brewery, and people hated us. They may still hate us.
Sure.
That bums me out, man.
Yeah.
We were good, and then all of a sudden, someone blinked, and we were different. And but we're still people. It hurt. It hurt a lot.
Yeah. No,
I get you get everybody's opinion and all that kind of stuff.
Well,
we all still cared, and holy cow, AB came in and they appreciated everything that we did, and
that's nice.
And they helped.
Yeah.
They helped.
Why wouldn't you be in charge of that?
I got a raise.
Yeah.
When AB came in,
my
my benefits got better. Yeah.
Philanthropic
Oh,
budget is
holy
what
shit.
we do for everybody.
There's a mandate
so proud
of how much we have to spend out in the community to help people.
It's awesome.
Is 10 times.
Yeah.
For me though, it's more like the amount of scientists and pursuit of excellence that I've experienced being acquired by AB.
Every brewer on the planet that knows what they're doing will say that AB does amazing. Out of 12 breweries across the United States, the consistency that they do, everybody gives a nod to that. And
I think that's very important. These people that read these reviews are not those people that understand that.
I'm not on defense mode by any means.
I want the review.
Trust me,
the
5 years ago,
that says, "Please come have the worst rum and coke that some guy in Yelp has ever had." Have you seen that one? I love that one.
But what I will say, and I feel like because it is our obligation to at least mention it, my tune has changed on all of that over the course of years. Right, I used to be a very staunch person that said, "Fuck everything corporate. Fuck
Me too.
fuck
Me too.
everything that's
Totally.
happening.
And me too.
And I still am in a lot of regards.
Yeah, totally.
But if you've listened to the show before, you kind of know my take on it. But because we're here with you guys, I want to reemphasize it. I know really awesome people that work.
Look how fancy he is.
As he sips his martini glass. I know really awesome people that work for macro breweries, and I know really awesome people that work for breweries that are owned by macro breweries. I know really awesome people that work for craft microbreweries or whatever. I know really shitty people that work for all three of those tiers as well.
Of course.
Okay, so that's where I like to start. Is that I know good people work for both sides, and if a company is willing to help you live a life, sustain a family, build something, then that's important, regardless of whether it's a craft brewery or whether it's a macrobrewery or somebody that's been purchased or anything. So ultimately, that's the most important part, is that you've been able to build a life, and they still allow you to be your own personality as a business. The part that I have the biggest problem with is a masquerade when marketing starts to get involved.
Period.
When somebody like 10 Barrel or whoever, if you go to Copper Mountain, it's 10 Barrel everything, right? Like it's 10 Barrel at all the bars, there's 10 Barrel stations, they dominate the draft lines, and normally...
It's kind of a big puke.
But from an insider perspective, I know those lines are expensive. You know, in terms of what you have to commit to either man time or marketing dollars, or there's a level of commitment, even if it's not dollar wise, that a brewery has to commit to getting those, whether you're small or large, right? A brewery that's financed by a bigger brewery, you have that investment capital, you consider that a loss leader, where it's it's straight up marketing, right? Like you're not necessarily making money, but you outbid everybody so high that you're like, we don't even really need to make any money on this, but we're the only brewery that's available, like at this venue, at this mountain, or whatever.
Right? It's gonna write the check.
Yeah, and then the general public is none the wiser, right?
Yeah.
So that's the only, and I'm hoping I'm coming from this angle as a person that I like you guys a lot. I like the beers. I'm happy we're here. I appreciate Breckenridge Brewery, but there is a side of it,
of course,
that I'm not thrilled about.
Yeah,
right?
no.
And that's something that I still wrestle with, and it's not something I'm condemning you for at all.
No.
But it's a thing. That's capitalism, right? Like that's literally the way that our market is structured to exist. So people get really prideful about it because it's beer, and because so much of people's identity is tied up in craft beer, because it's their neighborhood pub, they grew up with this brand, it's all these things, right? So sometimes they feel like some part of them has been cheated when a bigger brewery buys it out or something like that, I get it completely, but that's my, just so you know where I'm coming from.
No, I totally get it, and that's
I'm sorry that was long-winded.
No,
that's good. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and there's a lot to unpackage there, and I don't know if I can hit all of it.
I don't expect you to.
Because
I
again,
you
made me shotgun this beer at 9.2%.
And we're closing in on one of the longest episodes.
No, I think TiVo's coming in with the comedy part of the podcast.
No, quite frankly, I'm like, okay, I want to say something, and I didn't want it, and for once, I didn't want to.
But I hope you know that, even during this whole show, I hope I've only emphasized.
TiVo, you're on the podcast from here on out, dude.
No,
I like to ingest, be able to talk.
Dude, I want to answer all your questions, but I'm not smart enough to remember all my answers. But I hear you. I hear you 1,000%. Because trust me, I'm the guy that I love the local coffee shop. Yeah. And again, I'm the guy that did, like you said, I had to deal with the bullets.
Yeah.
I stood in front of people, and as the bullets came, and our founders and directors and all that kind of stuff didn't want to hear it, and it was my job to absorb it and make sure it didn't hit them. It was painful, without a doubt. I love the craft brewing industry, but when Anheuser Busch bought us, it was the worst time of my life.
Sure.
I don't know how it's ever going to get worse, other than some, obviously personal,
Some stuff.
blah 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 blah.
Somebody
But yeah,
buying
it was
tiny house.
career-wise terrible.
Yeah.
People were evil.
Because you sell yourself so much on soul, right? You sell yourself
Yeah.
so much on this is the heart of
Well,
the brand.
I'm a big, a lot of people I've known, and I've been around in craft beer since, I think in Colorado craft beer, its beginning. Matter of fact, one of my proudest moments was Adam Avery said, and this was back in my days when I was part of the Colorado Brewers Guild, and Adam Avery said, no one carries the Colorado craft beer flag higher than Tebow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It is, yeah.
Especially,
And I can tell that.
he's an iconic guy.
Yeah.
And I still believe that. But I tell you what, when Anheuser Busch bought us, no one cared that I carried that craft beer flag.
I'm sure some
Not no
people
one.
did.
A lot of
Yeah.
people did.
Yeah, it's
Still
like,
minority.
that's inside.
Sorry, that
that's
was
for
deep.
sure.
That
That's
was a little bit
insider,
too far.
right? Like
That
that's
was a little
inside
bit too far.
baseball, like
Yeah.
accolades.
And then we got thrown out of the Colorado craft beer.
You strike to me as the kind of guy that's like the.
You guys got tossed out?
Yeah, they threw us out.
But you strike me as the guy that's like the RBI leader in the league.
Yeah.
Like nobody knows you because you're not the home run guy.
Yeah.
You're the one that's like the
Bringing people home.
cheerleader for the industry, like
totally
at large, you know. But then
Yeah.
you got ignored.
Well, we got tossed out.
Jimmy is
and,
unathletic in all sorts because he's
Because of the gout.
yeah, the guy that limps.
If you want to play like darts or foosball or any bar game, I'll play you $100 a game.
Hilarious.
Yeah, just hands.
I'm a hockey guy myself.
I'm an
so
athletic
good luck.
guy. I'm
Yeah.
an athletic
Yeah.
guy by nature. This is
Not-
debilitating right now.
Not to badmouth the Colorado Brewers Guild, but a lot of folks, they're like, no, we don't want to be part of that. And
Well, they
again,
did wear
I
rules.
get that. I get that a little bit. And it was like, okay.
Everybody
Yeah.
makes weird. They make weird rules though.
Well, that was then, and things have changed now, right?
It's also
just-
like you're
well,
like a BA.
I look forward to the day that we're part of the Colorado Craft Brewers Guild. I hope,
Yeah.
because I'm not going to give up with the whole deal. I love Colorado craft beer.
Yeah.
That's our heart and soul. And quite frankly, yeah, I get Breckenridge Brewery. We sell in a lot of different places, but Colorado's home, and
Yeah.
it's very, very important here. I'm just waiting. I spent easily 30% of my time with the Colorado Brewers Guild, and then
And it hurts
all
to
of a
get
sudden,
the fuck out, dude.
no, all of a sudden I had a whole lot of time to where I didn't have to deal with stuff. But yeah, that was kind of a bummer.
One thing I've seen about
That on a
Brewers
personal
Guilds-
note, that's
I
a
really-
personal.
Yeah,
note.
yeah.
One thing that I've
that's-
seen about Brewers Guilds though, and the BA in particular, is that they move the goalposts how they want them
We, you know,
But
the
that's
way-
the same
say
comedy.
that.
the way
That's
you know,
comedy.
to
Yeah,
me it was
totally.
to.
ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean that's the reason Yingling, the shittiest brewery on the planet, is
Whoa.
part of craft beer now.
Newly to be
Boston
distributed
Beer
in
Company,
Texas.
right?
Yeah,
How
But-
else are you gonna keep Sam Adams in the game?
but that's
Yeah,
the reason,
yeah, yeah.
right? Like, so
Yeah.
they had to bump Sam Adams up, Boston Beer Company up. And I think we mentioned this on the last.
Oh,
show.
don't
Yeah,
get
we
me
did.
started on that one. I'm not even gonna
Oh, we
answer.
talked-
We'll go for
talk-
4 hours. Yeah, but that's the thing.
Yeah, what
is
are we on? The 12th hour?
Now,
Or-
these brewers, I haven't taken enough psychedelics for this 12th hour. But that's the thing, is that these Brewers Guilds seem to want to move the posts based on like what seems to be the most consumer friendly.
Yeah, I'm not
But
slamming.
can you? I mean, honestly though, can you argue like? And this.
They're supposed to represent something.
Yeah, but dude, I mean, like comedy is the same fucking thing, dude.
No,
Like-
this is different.
I don't think
Because
so.
they make limits based on the volume and who owns it. They're very
I would,
strict.
I would be willing to bet the comedy would do the same thing if they could measure that.
It depends.
If they could measure that.
It depends who's on the board. And quite frankly, when we
Yeah.
lost our seat on, or not our seat, in Colorado craft
How's
beer,
that?
the president of our brewery was actually the president of the Colorado Brewers Guild. But there were enough people that were like, no, Breckenridge Brewery, go pound sand. And I don't know. I get it. I'm like, I get that you're mad. But you know what? You want to be this kumbaya of Colorado craft beer, yet you want to not include the largest brewery in the fucking world, which is Coors Brewing Company.
Tebow and I get it.
Yeah, you know what? I think
You're trying to
everybody.
pander a little bit.
You know what? If you're all about beer, put everybody at the table. And I will tell you, the way the Colorado Craft Brewers Guild is, and I'm not saying it's all about money, but the Colorado, you pay your dues based on how much you brew.
Yeah.
We were one of the top 5 breweries in the
Which
state
is a
of
big
Colorado.
commitment from them
That
to
was
be
a
like,
big
hey,
chunk for everybody to say, yeah,
don't
you
kick
fucking
rocks.
suck.
Yeah, damn.
We
But
don't
that's-
want your
But here's the deal.
we don't
Like,
want your
Economy,
check to make stuff and the brewing beer in Colorado better.
2 big discrepancies would be we don't have a guild to protect us. That'd be the biggest discrepancy.
We do.
Is there a
It's-
comedian
it's-
guild? Is that
There is a comedian guild. It's just not called. Like, it's not an official arrangement.
Are you a part of that?
Don't tell him. Don't tell him.
I don't think so.
Secret. No.
Do
I
you
don't
need
think
a
so,
president?
but, like-
I'll be your president.
Please be.
Well, what I would say is that, okay, so based on what he's saying is that you get to decide who goes in and out based on their level
Yeah.
of hack.
Yeah.
That you're telling me that's not a thing in comedy?
Yeah. Well,
No,
like,
because
that
that's
is
well,
absolutely a
gigs.
thing.
if I may, if I can drag us back to Colorado craft beer,
Sure.
there were people that were on board for us. Matter of fact, Chad
Interesting.
yeah, I'm sorry, not Chad.
What are the
Nice.
Edit this out.
I don't know, Chad.
No,
We're not editing anything. Yeah.
Why am I drawing a blank?
I know you said you were like
chain
hey,
reaction.
yeah,
Chain
yeah,
reaction.
yeah,
Chain-
yeah,
Yeah.
Chain reaction, folks. They were all about us,
Right.
Yeah.
and there were people that weren't about us.
Well, that's the other thing.
And
Coors too is just I've heard from so many brewers like Troy Casey in particular, and I know he's a bit of a homer. He
yeah.
was saying that man, Coors has done so much to like
Well,
open up their
he
labs
came
and
from
open
the
up-
Coors family.
Right.
And, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, I know he was a little bit of a homer on that, but
Yeah.
I've heard this from other people too, where Coors has been open with information, equipment.
But that's the same as comedy where
oh my
people-
gosh. Let me
Oh my
say,
God.
back in the day when we first opened up the brewery on
We gotta close this podcast up because I'm gonna lose it.
No,
Why?
it's a-
Talk.
No, let it rip.
No,
That-
because like
no.
that's
Just charge in.
Let me
Yes,
say,
no.
it's going to be on your side. Way back in the day, 4-7 with Calumet, when we first moved in that brewery, and no one, we were the first Colorado craft brewery to put beer in a 12-ounce bottle. And we had this beautiful Crohn's system that we ordered and was built, and it came in, and we had no idea what to do. What did we do? We called Coors Brewing Company. The packaging guys for Coors Brewing Company out of Golden came in, and they worked with us day in and night, and they loved it. They were fantastic people.
Yep.
These guys gave us a launching pad. Coors Brewing Company gave us a launching pad because we were just, again, I went back to, I think I said it at the beginning of the show. I said we were a bunch of burnt-out old
Yeah.
hippies that were
You
unemployable.
needed to be corralled.
Yes.
You had inspiration,
And then all of a sudden,
kind of
our company grew to the point where, holy shit, we gotta button our shit up. But we weren't smart enough. Coors Brewing Company stepped in and
there you go.
boom, boom.
I
They
agree.
tied it all up.
I agree.
They were not bad
I want
people.
Steve
And then,
to get on a fucking high horse here.
and then, by the way, and then, by the way, there's a lot of Colorado craft breweries that can also turn to us,
right.
Breckenridge Brewing, say, you know what, they helped us.
Yep.
And I'll let them speak for themselves. I don't need to speak for
Yeah,
them.
but you, like the
But
whole idea is
it's
like
what
we
we
got
did.
a facility, and then you pass it down a little bit,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's part of
Yeah.
the community.
It was
But
beautiful.
people hate that community, dude. Like, okay, so there was a comic I passed away a couple years ago.
Breckenridge Brewery exists.
Bless you,
Today,
child.
packaging of Breckenridge Brewery beers exists because of Coors Brewing Company.
All of Denver
Yeah,
County, there's a dude named Deacon Gray who passed away. He ran all of the local talented comedy works, the club downtown, which is one of the top 5 clubs in the entire nation. Not even just America,
You're
like
so
North
good
America.
looking.
Yeah.
I already had COVID.
Deacon Gray died, and no matter what, people would talk shit. So many people would be like, Deacon doesn't know what he's talking about. Deacon has no idea. Deacon laid down all of the fucking ground. Deacon put in work,
Yeah.
and because of what Deacon did, people made him fucking famous. I'm talking like, people are making like $6 million a year because of what Deacon did for
Right,
them.
right.
And other people who wouldn't be successful are like,
Yeah.
fuck this guy, he has no idea what he's talking about.
Yeah.
And it's like, I know that you're a hater, I know you hate what you're saying, But if you would just listen to what this person's saying for like a little bit.
I honestly kind of think, and again, there's a lot of breweries that can speak on behalf of Breckenridge Brewery. Just being around a while, there's not many people that have worked for a brewery as long as I have or Jimmy has and stuff like that. I'll let them speak for themselves, but I'll tell you what, I know we're not the darling of Colorado craft beer, but there's a lot of people that look to Breckenridge Brewery and go, holy shit, they blazed a lot of trails. And we certainly, it goes back to the beginning where our philosophy has always been, we're competitive but helpful. And we've always been very, very helpful. So, and again, that's just me talking.
No,
and I'll let everybody else
business.
speak. But I can't tell you, there are so many breweries, especially at the beginning, that probably could give kudos to us.
You gotta read it.
And what we've done, because we believe in the community. So, and by the way, we're still the folks that believed in the community years ago that are now owned by Anheuser Busch. We're still here.
Yeah.
All right. Just to kind of put a pigtail on this thing.
Oh, we were gonna do the.
We've done
sorry,
actually
started.
one review.
That's like
That's the goal of the podcast.
I'm all about. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to.
No,
I'm
the goal of
all
the show
about
is to
the
like just
reviews.
make it like a conversation. The reason I wanted to start doing this is because I miss talking to beer people.
Yeah.
Like I miss just like having
Nah, dude,
a table around.
I get you
people.
1,000%. I don't think you ever leave. I don't think you ever leave the beer industry. I mean, you may not get it. May not be employed by the industry, but it is in your gut till the end of time.
Totally.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have that Untapped review pulled up?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. So say the name of the beer, and for this one in particular, I want you to do two things. I need you to.
Oh, I'm ready.
If it's Avalanche, I'm coming across it.
Do you want to ask me about this, by the way?
It's ready.
Fired Patrick.
I don't care. Go ahead.
Wait.
Are we
What
getting
do you want to
sidetracked
know?
again?
What do you want to know?
I know it's not your style of beer, but would you drink that?
He's gonna tell you.
He already is.
Stand by.
It's pretty good.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing.
It was comedic time.
You know what?
It's good.
I could pound this.
Hold on.
All right.
Review.
All right, are we ready?
You're gonna read the first one.
September
Give the rating.
17th.
Give the reading, and then give the rating, and then give the reading, and then do the second one underneath it.
I'll do whatever I want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hell, I'm on your phone now,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I can do whatever I
Jimmy
want.
It's been hijacked.
Oh, okay. September 17th, 2015, Clara S. reviewed the Fur Bikini Lager from the Breckenridge Brewery.
Fur bikini.
The
lager.
what?
Fur.
Fur
F-U-R. Fur Bikini Lager.
What?
Lager American Light. Yeah. All right. Hold on. I will continue. And you
Yeah.
be quiet
Shut
and
the
think
fuck
about
up.
how you're going to respond.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
figure out how to shut the fuck up.
And the
'cause
review
I've never
is
done that before.
smells like pee, tastes like feed. 0.50. Now, interesting right here is it's going to earn the Lager Jack badge and earn the Land of Free level 10 badge.
Somebody earned badges.
Okay,
for
so
this.
someone earned badges. But we're going to go on to Teresa G.
What?
Teresa G is going to get after it.
Earning badges is the only thing that
Fur
matters.
Bikini Lager, Breckenridge Brewery Lager, American Light. Smells like pee, tastes like feet, 0.50.
So there was two that said the exact same thing, gave the exact same rating.
On Bikini Longer.
Fur bikini.
Fur
Oh,
Bikini.
sorry. Oh, my apologies.
Yeah, of course. One of the most respected beers.
Clearly, I don't know the beer.
Teresa G didn't earn
that-
any
is that
badges, though.
Is that the point?
I don't know, but somebody fucking earned a badge off of giving Fur Bikini a 0.5 and
Fur
saying
Bikini.
smells
Jimmy,
like pee,
I can
tastes like
guarantee
feet.
you that the brewery here in Littleton has never made a beer called Fur Bikini.
I know.
Jimmy,
that's the thing.
have you made a beer called Fur Bikini?
No, no, we haven't.
Yeah.
I wanted to say we did just for fun.
I know.
Wait,
But we
Yeah.
didn't. No. Fur Bikini.
Huh.
I have one for you.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
This is from somebody
Of course you do.
Marty H. Oh, I got plenty of them.
Oh, Marty, my best buddy.
Your best buddy Marty
Yeah,
H.
we
says,
go way back.
not necessarily a place to come by yourself. I already like some of Breckenridge beers, so not a surprise on beers.
What the fuck?
On second thought, Come with someone or come drunk. Ha ha, place is huge, a little too crowded and maybe trendy. For me, maybe on a Sunday. Can't imagine a more busy day. 3 stars. Somebody doesn't have friends, so you got 3 stars.
So they came by themselves, and they were upset that other people were there.
What is it? Marty? Is that
Marty H.
Marty?
Do you have his phone number?
Marty,
Can we
if
call
you're-
him now for
Marty, if you're listening,
clarification?
buddy, I
That'd be
would
great.
love to meet you for
Marty,
a beer.
Marty,
Let's
I
hang
wish
out.
we had these people's phone numbers.
Marty,
Yeah.
talk
That
to
would
me.
be this segment to the next
Oh,
level.
yeah.
We can
How
call
can
the
we
people.
prepare
that
this?
call
Marty?
And I'm not kidding. No, I'm totally not kidding. Marty, yeah, whatever. Yeah, let's have a beer, man.
Yeah, just have a friend. Like,
Yeah.
I'm here to be your friend.
Yeah, I don't want to be your
Yeah.
friend forever. I don't want to be your friend forever and every night, but
Man.
dude,
Well, at least
I'll hang out on a Saturday when we have some, a cool band playing on the beer garden stage. Let's have some beers.
I'll give
and
you a beer ticket.
I'll even pick up the
fucking-
tab.
Yeah.
Well, the brewery will, but yeah.
Of course.
I'll pretend it's
But
me.
I want to say hi. Let's make
Marty, I'm
friends.
sorry, buddy. Come, let me know. Ask for Tebow.
Marty,
Well,
if
I'm
you
sorry
come-
to tell you that Marty gave you 3 stars because of that.
What?
3 is actually not that bad.
I'm not. Yeah.
It's not terrible.
I mean, no one actually came and gave him back rub or anything.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Marty.
Oh,
What-
Yeah, buddy. I'm your friend.
Oh yeah, we got
Yeah.
plenty.
Go ahead.
So this was another.
I'm running out of beer.
This is another Untapped review.
Ah,
We'll
yeah.
end. We'll end.
There you go.
We'll end.
Fuck is
The Nitro Series
Okay.
Orange Cream Ale. Is
The
that
what?
right? Nitro Orange Cream Ale.
Ooh.
Does that ring a bell?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Yeah. We did make that beer. Yes.
Okay, we know we made that one.
Yeah, that's legit.
What I will say is that this person gave it a 2.75 on Untapped. And it says it's real old, cleaning out the fridge. And then
Yeah.
the picture in their background is of the chocolate orange stout. So they gave a beer the wrong beer the rating. And then they also judged the rating based on how long it's
you
been sitting
gotta
in
give
there.
it A for effort right there. They're like getting out there.
But it's
Wow.
kind of like, why? Like, why would you
Wow.
even
Maybe
rate
they
it?
just started reviewing beers.
They
They're
feel
not
like
familiar with the apparatus.
you have to
and how
check
it
in
works,
everything.
you know?
Is that what your life is about? You
Yeah.
just gotta check in every goddamn beer. that you drink?
Honestly, the only thing I have to say on that, you know what? Everybody has an opinion, whether you like stuff or not. That's fine. I don't know. To me, that maybe I'm a little bit sensitive. I'll say that. But maybe this is just somebody that's pretending or trying to be upset because
I don't think
we're owned
that's...
by AB. But maybe that's not it. I don't have an answer to
Some
this.
people just
Let me-
suck, man.
let me
Like,
read you this one.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because I am not sensitive to what your reviews are.
Oh, I think you're sensitive.
I don't care what you guys give for reviews. Let me be honest.
Well, yeah. I
Here-
almost said I don't
Bro.
care, but I do care.
Let's be honest.
I legitimately don't care what your reviews are. If I get a bad review, I'll be fucking
Okay.
heartbroken.
Jimmy Walker is a dick.
Alright.
But
Let
Jeremy M says, pretty good place to go for a unique beer in a brewery. A lot of good things to do outside as well. Beer is good and inexpensive compared to a lot of breweries nearby. Best meatloaf I've ever had. I definitely recommend this place.
The meatloaf.
3 stars.
What?
Yeah!
God damn it.
Raving review, and here you are getting.
We make a mean meatloaf up in the hills. I don't know. Do you guys have meatloaf?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's the same recipe.
It's the same
Well,
recipe.
as
So it's
far
a
as I
meat
know,
loaf.
but,
I love a good loaf.
I mean, literally, he raves about
but
everything.
it is
in here.
meatloaf. I
And
mean,
he loves everything on this review. He
Yeah.
loves everything
So
on
why
this
do
I
you
review.
guys
think
stand
he
on people-
even said something about what, like grated. No,
Great beers, great brewery, great things to do, great meatloaf.
Papa
3
John's.
stars.
Definitely recommend this place.
No
3
back
stars.
rub, no front rub.
But 3 stars.
Nothing.
I mean, what do you guys...
Guys, honestly, okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. That's why.
What do you want me to say?
There's nothing to do.
Right.
I think
Right.
we're
It's-
good.
It's
Yeah.
like you.
Is that fair enough?
Yeah.
I mean,
You wrote a raving review that stars could have been better.
yeah.
Can we
For
reach
what you
out
said.
and see if
I can make
No.
it better somehow?
I'll
How
message
do we get
Jeremy.
to 5 stars?
Is it,
I mean-
is it 4 or 5 stars?
It's
What's
3. It's 3
Yeah,
So
but
stars.
what's the
3
max?
stars.
What's the max?
5.
Oh, so we're 3 out of 5.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We're not
Oh,
terrible.
jeez.
No,
Oh,
I know.
jeez. Oh,
But
jeez.
Well,
for that,
what's
for
his name again? Sorry,
Jeremy M.
Jeremy.
Where's he
Come
live?
on, man.
What's his phone number?
Again, let us know.
3,
When-
0.
Yeah, right.
Next,
I'll
next
tell you
time,
to ask, right?
next time you're coming by, I'm looking for 5 stars,
I'll
of
never ask.
course.
It's just let
but
us know.
I don't know.
Well, the reason we do this is because you guys are highly rated.
I
So,
know
you
we are.
we don't
I
do
know
this.
we are.
Yeah, but it's the
I-
ones that you like. They
You know what?
sting a
I'm
little
not
bit.
trying. I'm not trying to be an asshole, but I know we are. I look
Oh.
at our ratings
I
all the
know.
time.
I know. But you
I
seem
don't.
like you're upset.
I don't
right
look at
now.
anything.
You seem like you're
No,
upset.
no, I'm not at all.
You
Hold
said
on.
everything nice.
No, actually, quite frankly, like I said, back in the day, I was our guy with the marketing, and I dealt with all of our shit when
Yeah.
people lost their
Yeah.
mind
Yeah, they're hell.
when AB bought us. Bring it up.
Hell yeah.
I would
Yeah,
say
I will never have a bad day like that. Well,
This
that
pod-
wasn't a bad day. That was like a bad 2 weeks. Nothing will ever be that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, like this
People were
podcast,
terrible.
this specific episode that's gone on for
No,
far too
I
long.
want.
But
I want.
too long.
Actually,
We're
I
about-
want
we're winding
to.
up right at the
Jimmy's
right time.
falling asleep. That's the only reason.
Well, I have to be
People are
honest.
talking, I'm getting
So
bored.
far, you guys haven't brought anything cool. I want you guys to bring
Whoa.
dirt like
Whoa.
bad.
Whoa.
Okay.
Whoa.
Okay.
Whoa.
There's plenty of it.
No, you know
Be
what?
careful what you ask for.
No, I'm okay.
They were letting
I was
us
looking for ways to wind the show down. Just trying to spice
tiptoe
it up.
through. Yeah, I was like,
I'd
Tebow is.
I'd love
jerk.
to. I know if someone is upset about what we do, which I think we do really, really well. I'm more than happy to have that discussion. I'm not trying to be hokey on that.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
No,
Of course.
No, I know.
Yeah,
Make
yeah.
it better.
Are you digging deep?
Do you wanna? Do you wanna?
I caught you, didn't
Or
I?
do you wanna wind down?
Why
Let
did
me find something. Let me find.
No, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to put you guys on the spot, but I
don't know.
want to
That's
know
it. Here-
somebody. I want to know somebody that thinks we.
Here's
really,
the deal
really
with this bad
suck.
review, the bad review segment is
Yeah, I
that
know.
a lot of times it's a way to end cap the show because
No, I know.
the conversation's like shorter.
I'm not trying to.
But with you guys, like we really haven't had that struggle.
Dude,
you
you
know?
have
So
no idea how the bullshit.
the goal of the show is for us to just have, and that's why I don't.
I'm okay with that.
I don't have any qualms with doing interviews with any brewery, whether it's like independent craft or
I
whether
hear
it's owned by somebody else. Or I mean, I wanna have interviews with.
I want you
I
guys-
want to have interviews with like Korey, you know, because my.
I want you
goal-
guys not to find me.
But my goal is to. I want to have a fun conversation
Yeah, totally.
with whoever we're sitting down
Yeah.
with. My goal isn't to patronize anybody. It's not. To
Well, that's my
attack
thing. I don't want a
anybody. It's like-
softball pitch. I want.
I'm
like,
excited to get you guys up to Breck and have some beers.
Yeah, me too.
You guys-
That's the thing.
trust
I just
me,
want to
you-
like have fun
I
with
was-
people,
yeah.
and I'm just like
you guys.
shit,
You
shit.
guys must.
And that's
go
the
up.
whole goal of the show is like to just treat it like a conversation
Yeah.
rather than
Sorry, I'm not-
rather
I'm
than an indictment. You know.
I'm not trying to be a jerk.
You
I
should do a
just-
show.
You've been a huge jerk the whole time.
Good.
You got one, or are we
I would
good?
be psyched to have you
I'm
guys
trying to
up.
find one, but there's nothing like.
Okay, if there's
Nothing.
There's also,
so
I mean,
Yeah,
there's
I-
also like servers whose names are named, and I'm not trying to fucking do
Some of them,
that.
like that's the thing with the untapped
I know
ones,
that.
is that you get gold sometimes, and you get like somebody that's like really fun. It's a funny review.
I'll-
But then if,
Here we
something
go.
is just straight mean,
Honestly,
and I'm like, yeah, I
yeah.
don't really want to do that.
Honestly, guys, I
Yeah.
monitor this shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, you got
So
one?
you-
Decent beer, not great like it used to be before Big Beer bought out
Yeah.
the place.
Yeah, because everything changed.
That I
Like,
can't even-
once-
that-
Limited menu, nothing special, not bad, not as busy as it used to be for good reason. Staff was very
Bullshit.
indifferent to customers. The bartender was apathetic. The entire
Everything.
customer-facing staff
He's got a
needs
good
to have customer
commercial
service
voice.
training.
He's got a big sassy voice.
Lots
He's got
of better places in town.
literally
Yeah.
everything about it.
Honest-
Food, the beer,
Yeah,
the ownership.
honestly, on
Yes.
that one, you just let nice try.
Yeah, nice. Like, that's a little too obvious, right? Like when you're just going so hard.
Well,
On every-
yeah,
every
and that's
market.
what I learned. Again, I was the guy that dealt with everything, and trust me, the day that Anheuser Busch bought us was without a doubt, the worst day of my day with Breckenridge Brewery.
Sure.
Because my passion is all about this brewery and the people, and
That party got struck.
it was terrible.
I mean, there's
And then the next day I thought it would get better, and it was bad. And the next day, bad. The next day was bad. I mean, honestly, guys, I cried
Yeah.
for 5 days.
Yeah, and you should
It was,
listen to
it was
emo
brutal.
music.
But you don't strike me as that guy now. Right.
And now it's like, I don't know.
You don't care.
you
I'm
seem
not-
like a jovial, happy guy. Like, you don't seem
Oh my
upset
God.
like life.
You
I
seem
mean, I
like
could
you've
be-
had your balls kicked in at an open mic a few
Dude, my balls got kicked in and they got ripped over my head.
Yeah.
Those days were terrible.
And that's why,
Terrible.
that's another reason I said the beer industry and the comedy industry.
Yeah. It was
are the
terrible,
same.
and there were consumers that were ugly, and there were breweries that were ugly too.
Yeah.
It was awful.
Yeah, but from what again, like I know about doing this show and my own experience is that all I care about is if the people that are here are happy
Yeah.
and they're good
Well,
people. And-
the bottom line, and I have no problem speaking for all of our folks, and I think they would all allow me to do that. What we did with Anheuser Busch was the right move for Breckenridge Brewery.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Tight, man.
yeah.
No, I mean, I love what you guys are doing here. It's a beautiful facility. The beers are great, even the amber. And is there anything? Is there anything you guys want to plug before we get out of here? I mean, we got the single hop IPA, and we talked about that. Is there anything else
The
you guys?
Velvet series, you guys.
Velvet series.
I
is
honestly
cool.
do think, like, I cannot say this again, but I'm going to.
Yeah.
This is, it's the next step in, like, the seltzer game. I really do
Yeah.
think that it's the step above all seltzers.
If you guys need me in your,
Thank
your
you, man.
marketing meetings, just let me know. And
Yeah, I'll tell you to put a fucking basement under your tiny house. That's the advice you'll get.
and he agrees. So,
Well, no, thank you guys very much, and by all means, yeah, our Velvet series, I think we're kind of breaking in new territory. We'll see how it
Absolutely.
goes.
No, I think you are.
But yeah,
I agree.
I really appreciate you guys being here, and holy crap, I've had a boatload of fun.
yeah, that's the
Matter
goal.
of
That's
fact,
kinda-
I wanna
that's kinda
do
the
that.
idea.
Yeah, and
Jimmy's been ready to pass out. for
Jimmy,
like that.
Jimmy's
All
right.
the blood rushed to his foot. What can you expect?
What's up?
I want to do this next week.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Well,
we'll
you guys have
have
to
you
show
on
it,
again.
sure.
Yeah.
Well,
you
actually,
you
I-
guys walked in and saw that great patio out there.
I
How
know.
about like June? We have this big thing with a big old I don't know.
I actually
fire pit
I had
and
an
all that.
idea to do a.
Let's talk about a comedy show.
Yeah, we'll talk about a comedy
Well-
show. We'll talk about a bunch of different things. But thank you guys so much for being a part of the Red Standing Tap podcast. Check out our website and subscribe to our newsletter so you can check out some of the new stuff we've got going on. It looks like, assuming if things don't change, we'll have at least 2 shows going in February.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Cross your
Depending on-
fingers.
Yeah, cross your fingers.
Yeah.
Depending on what goes on, but it will be.
We got to get back to whatever normal is.
They will likely be
Holy
indoors,
crap.
but it's at places that we've vetted to be safe. And keep your ears and your eyes open for that. We want to bring stand-up comedy back to you guys, and we're willing to do that. So keep listening to the podcast. Give us a like, review, subscribe. It goes a long way in the algorithm. And thank you guys so much for being here. This is a
Oh
lot
my
of fun.
gosh.
Let's bring this program up to Summit County. We'll start on the roof.
Oh,
of the
yeah.
Breckenridge
We'll do one up there.
Oh, yeah.
We'll bring
So-
we'll bring Tebow out of his element,
Yeah.
and we'll get him up there.
Oh, it's not out of my
Not-
element.
yeah, you're right.
Up in Summit County, I call that my mountain house.
We got a lot of
Oh!
breweries up there. We'll be eager to have you guys on board.
Tight.
Hell yeah. Well, thank you guys so much. Thanks for listening. I'm going to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Pay a number, bro.
Steve, hit
I'm
the
going outside.
Steve, hit the button.
I said I was going to go to the bathroom.